You win. I was trying the new technique of throwing nasty stuff back at Sam, and Sam, of course, did a difficulty 10 on me, and I lost.
I didn't even have to roll.
Didn't even have to roll. Free raises on throwing disgusting slurs in my direction.
We're gonna.
So, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Callisto 6. We are almost done with the season. This is wild to me.
Why do you put that on the
It's so wild to me. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, real quick, before we get started tonight, I just want to give another shout out to Dogmite. There are a lot of people that like to use, and are supposed to, by the way, use the hashtag ad or sponsored when it comes to stuff like this. However, that was not indicated to me. I am literally in love with this damn company. Like, I love all of this stuff. This is like, I'm totally digging it. And I can afford it, which is what makes me very happy. So thank you, Dogmite, for my lovely GM screen. It looks fucking awesome. I am very happy with it.
My understanding is that shopping carts fill the space allotted. They're like a liquid.
Yeah.
The budget allotted.
Yeah. I'll just log in and just fill the shopping cart, and I'll be like, someday. So joining us tonight again, we have Mark. Hi. How's
I've
it
been
going,
waiting.
Hakeem, Sophia? Hell of an episode for your introduction last time. Are you enjoying Cypher so far? Did you dig it?
Yeah, no, this is great. Are you kidding? I'm like a zombie god.
Yeah. It is true. Yes. I was really curious. I know that sometimes there's a lot of worry when we have guests that jump in who have never played Cypher before, and usually I tell them, if you can get D&D, you'll definitely get this stuff down. It's pretty easy to grab a hold of. So glad you could join us again tonight. This is gonna be good. We get one more story with Sophia. I'm very excited. We have a pretty big scene to start off tonight's episode, and a lot to get through because we again are in late of the season now. So unless there's any announcements from you guys, we can jump straight into the game. Yes, Sam, a Leve.
There's a death goddess at our table, and I'm excited.
I mean, I just posted without context. All right, let's go ahead and jump in.
I want to say one thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really love that this happened. You were like to do this. So it's like all of y'all making Hakeem Sophia more than your recapper, and the fans.
I was going to say, it was something that was on our mind for sure, but it was definitely echoed very loudly by the Super Punks.
Definitely not just
It was not just us.
Yeah.
Never just a recap.
the heart of our city.
Maybe it was
The
because you're so
truth
amazing.
sayer.
Yeah.
I think it's that.
The news lady.
In all honesty, Super Punks, from Measure Z to Callisto 6 Lives to Markeia being on the show, it's all you.
You have
Thank
the
you
power.
so much for everything you do for us and the show and supporting us. We hope you enjoyed the story. We've loved the hell out of playing it. We're at episode 9. I'm talking like it's the goodbye. It's not. But I just wanted to take this moment because Markeia brought up a great point, and thank you so much for all that stuff.
Now let's go ruin their feelings.
Let's ruin the feelings. Revenge by destroying them. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Callisto 6.
Initiate data encryption. Okay. This is Hakeem Sophia. In the past 3 days, my life has changed. Unfortunately, I can't give too many details as my life is currently in danger, but I am leaving this brief record for myself and for anyone who might want to know what happened if something goes wrong. The manifestation of my powers has made me a target. I would already be in the hands of corporate LA were it not for the actions of the Callisto 6. Answering our call, Casey and I managed to escape thanks to their help, but not before we were attacked by what appeared to be some kind of genetically altered hit squad. The C6 team fought them, but I couldn't let them fight alone. I allowed myself to really use my power, and I like to think I made a difference. My abilities seem to be focused on death. I can assume this form. It's terrifying to see. I can't believe that it's me. I think I will use this somehow to do something good. After they defeated the strike team, the one they call Moonlight used her abilities in an attempt to stabilize 2 others. One was Synapse, and the other was called Duke. I need to go. More soon.
Welcome back, everybody, to Callisto 6. We're ready to jump into tonight's game in Los Angeles 2120, where some serious shit has been going down. We are rapidly approaching a critical point for the team. Lots of reveals in just the past couple of issues alone, and now you have found yourselves on the rooftop next to the celebrity known as Hakeem Sophia, who is the most recognizable face in news of Los Angeles and indeed on the West Coast. The reveal that Casey Montgomery had for all of you when she called out for help was that a colleague of hers needed some rescuing done. When you arrived at the apartment building, you discovered it was none other than Hakeem Sophia herself, who has manifested powers by being saturated with the Callisto energy source, which more and more stories are coming in of that happening. And you know this because Hakeem Sophia was reporting on it. And it's also worth noting that Casey, who has been following you all, is in a very frazzled state right now, revealing that you all, revealing that she and Sophia had been hunted by unknown, unmarked soldiers that are tracking them down. Very similar to the things you've already seen and experienced and heard of. Big, ugly fight broke out on the roof as y'all were trying to escape. Presumably, these people that attacked you on the roof were connected to the bizarre and unsettling spy agents that you saw lurking on the 9th floor before you headed up to the roof. These clones of each other, these strange, unremarkable men who were just wearing glasses and black suits, staring, doing nothing more than staring at all of you, acting as sort of living drones, watching your every move. Lacey, of course, was not going to just let that stand and decided to do some investigating to find out where the hell they were coming from. And to no one's surprise, they were agents of Nystral Corp, the communication arm of what is the fans have come to call the Four Horsemen. Of corporate LA, Nystral controls communications across the board. They are the internet, they are the television stations. They have almost total control of what is seen and said on the airwaves on the West Coast, particularly outside of LA. Now, giving you all a snapshot of the power of Nystral, I'm going to use this as a moment to also explain real quick for everybody who is curious as how this is moving forward. Corporate LA is in the middle of a firestorm because of the article published by Casey Montgomery that revealed all of the truths that have been broken, that have started to happen, these wild accusations that are being backed up by what's been seen on the news and by what law enforcement has uncovered. Corporate Los Angeles is currently under attack. Now, if you remember, it wasn't that long ago before corporate Los Angeles, they were the undisputed royalty of this city, set to take over the world. Then Measure Z. Then you guys.
Revolution was first.
One thing after the other. And now all of corporate LA is on the defensive. And Congress people and federal governments, everyone is starting to call into question how it's possible that they have been allowed to achieve this level of autonomy and power for as long as they have. Mm-hmm. Something that no one bothered questioning before, mostly because of the great contributions that corporate LA made to rebuilding Los Angeles after it was destroyed by C-Day. But now the enchantment has worn off, and it might have something to do with the news reports of zombie soldiers and evil masterminds breaking out of prison and trying to kill people. It might have something to do with the corporate malfeasance centering around one Kylan Kraus and the others that are CEOs, illegal arms deals, bribing police officers, all of this stuff that is beginning to finally come to the surface. Things are finally shifting in Los Angeles. It was that gradual shove of the boulder to try to just get it over the edge so you could keep making moves forward. And finally, as y'all have been pushing, that dead silence that happens between the moment when an object moves and the initial push has finally started to break, and people are starting to see a shift in the power of LA. Mayor Kate Galping has become a lot more vocal of opposition to corporate LA, and people who are being elected to city office are now people who are outspoken against corporate LA. In just the past 2 weeks, there have been 4 protests against corporate Los Angeles. People are asking questions and they're not getting answers, which is yielding more questions. And the eyes of the world are slowly starting to turn on these mega corporations that have had their fingers stretched out across the globe in massive control schemes for decades. And corporate LA has been very quiet. At least until Lacey got a direct message from Nystral Corp once they realized that Lacey was in their system. And apparently was not surprised to see you.
We both knew this day would come.
Now, on the rooftop, y'all had a big fight with 30 infantry. It was size-wise, it was a big fight.
Right.
30 infantry versus all of you. But the crowd control powers and then a blitzing, angry speedster and their sidekick right next to the illusions that were being cast and the feats of strength and the time shenanigans and the death and the lightning.
You distracted.
I did. I was very distracting.
So you all managed to survive the encounter relatively unscathed, minus Cass, who discovered that even though they have the power to manipulate the laws of physics, gravity still has its own mind of its own.
Your gravity is bullshit.
You have to make gravity. It's the law. It's the only thing you can't really crimes against.
Yeah.
I can try.
Crimes against gravity.
I guess Lacey then remembers Cass can fly. Never mind.
Yeah. Whoops. So, but at the end of the battle, after all 30 of these guys lay dead, at least dead again, it was revealed, 2 things were revealed. One, that they were never alive. During your fight, they were already dead. Something else was allowing them to move and function. And that was the second revelation, that it was the Callisto energy source that had been infused in. So look back at the last episode when I started off and said that I was distracted by Bonnie's sneeze.
That one was actually pretty normal
Yeah, it was
sounding.
pretty normal.
That was
still
not
adorable.
chipmunk level.
That was like a level 3 sneeze versus like the level 8 that we got.
It's true, it's true.
I'll try. I'll try again. Let me get the lights.
Just get the ears emojis ready. So the other thing to keep in mind is that the Callisto energy that was wafting off of these guys was absorbed. On the suggestion of the party, the Callisto 6 instructed Moonlight to try and see if maybe she could absorb the energy as it left the bodies of these dead men. And she succeeded. And upon the direction of trying to get rid of it, it seemed like it was so difficult for her to contain. As she was moving, she could barely use her limbs. She was literally having to like shift her weight to get her to move forward. She had become a reactor of Callisto energy. And upon the suggestions of Patel and everybody else, she decided to unleash what she had captured from these downed people into the bodies of Snaps and the woman who has been fighting by Snaps' side this whole time, who you had captured after getting into a big bad fight with Cass. So tonight, we start the scene with the energy exploding out from Moonlight into the forms of Snaps and this woman, this fighter. And as the energy explodes outwards, both of them vanish from your field of vision, completely swallowed by the light, particularly if you have lenses that allow you to see in low light. Luma, even you don't have to. Luma's the one that probably doesn't have to look away, as your bond to that version of the C6 energy actually lets you experience the radiance in its full form without being blinded by it. So as you gaze into it, you can only just make out the forms of 2 individuals inside this enveloping light as Moonlight exudes the power back at them.
Please work.
And you see a display of power that's very similar to the night you all stepped into an alley and got shocked by a canister. It started all these chains of events into motion for you. You hear the screams of both Synapse and this woman, and both of them drop to their knees. As the energy plays off of their skin, electrical bolts, and in between each bolt is this haze of plasma that raises up away from their form. It lasts a few seconds, and when it finally shuts down, the night is eerily quiet again as both of their bodies lie smoking on the ground. Their eyes are open and they're breathing heavily. Snaps is curled up into a ball very similar to, you would all note, to the way you found him when you first opened up that container back at the Cassium lab. Girl, however, is already picking herself up off the ground. She just... and she gets up.
You two okay?
She just looks at her hands. Moonlight turns and looks at all of you. You see sweat has formed on her brow.
Yeah.
And she just says, I'm good. I think I'm okay. Who's next to her that can catch her?
I can run up.
You dash forward. Both of you instinctively dash forward. She loses all the strength in her legs. As you dash forward, you manage to catch her before she impacts. You catch her full body weight, and she puts her arms on your arms and just goes, oh.
I'm gonna keep running to Snaps.
Slow.
I'll keep running to Snaps.
Okay, you move over to Snaps. You hear the heavy breathing of Moonlight, and she looks up at you and signs, whoa.
Whoa is right.
You move over to Snaps, and he's on the ground just going, and he looks at you, and he just says, ow.
Are you okay? How are you feeling? Do you remember?
Reaches up and takes your collar and pulls you close to him, and he looks you in the eyes and says, ow.
Yeah.
Ow. I'm hurting right now.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, we didn't say it was gonna be fun.
Yeah, no.
But
I would have, because if you did, then this would be me saying you're a liar as opposed to ow. Because now I'm saying ow.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we might have something in the ship that'll help.
Is it
We have
whiskey?
we have a chicken you can hold. I don't know.
No, don't hand me chickens. Never hand me chickens.
Okay. Just take it easy. I'm not good at comforting. Help someone. This is not. I don't have an enabler in
We
this.
still have the whiskey that we got from Shion.
Yeah.
Great.
That
I'll
I
take
can
it.
get. That I can get.
Lacey, you perk up.
Did he just say that?
Yeah.
What do I sense in that tech?
Oh, he
Heck
knows.
is fried.
Both pieces.
Both.
Wait, you remember Shion? You remember? Do you remember me? Do you remember us?
Whiskey. Hi.
You remember whiskey? This is good. This is good.
Oh, yeah, I do.
What's your name?
Well, you haven't told me yet. It's either Snaps or Synapse.
You had to tell us, but you remembered that.
Do you remember the train?
Holy shit. He sits up and you see this look on his face and he goes, is Dr. Patel here?
Yeah.
And Patel, she's literally she's holding Casey and goes, what? Yes? Someone, who's talking to me?
He
Did I come from
remembers.
him?
He remembers.
I happy punch a hole in the roof. I'm just over and over.
Bam! Gravel explodes everywhere.
he said I got
Hits the ground.
I helped and helped.
Like,
You-
Just signing over and over and over to Moonlight. You did it. 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 You did something.
She's like,
You
great.
did it.
I did it. Yay, I did it. You see this weak smile come to her face.
Nap time.
He just kind of blinks and says, oh, wow. Jerome fucked with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
I want to roll out of the ship. I figure, have I gotten proper control of the other one by now?
Yes, the other one is still on, by the way. So you all are hearing the whine of the engines of the other dropship still powered up.
As long as she's hacked and we've taken the microchip out of her, so to speak.
Yeah, she
Basically
doesn't have
untrack,
any
do the same work that
stabilizer.
I've done with Amelia.
Yeah. Okay.
Get her all nice and low tracing, and once that's accommodated, yeah. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna roll on out.
Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing? Cass, you pull your fist out of the
I assume
concrete.
we all kind of converge on Snaps a little bit.
Yeah.
Can I say that I ran back to get the whiskey and I bring it?
Oh, hell yeah. I could take one.
yeah, I'll bring the.
It doesn't work anymore, though. My metabolism's too high.
So you come back with the whiskey, and Snap stands up, and as you hand it to him, he just boop,
It's probably not going to work on you
takes
either.
this quick swig.
You want to tell this stubborn, punchy lady that we're your friends?
Duke, they're cool.
Duke.
We finally got
She-
a name.
She's looking at her fist, and she's like, yeah, no shit. And then she keeps flexing her hands.
Snaps.
And he's like, she's good.
It's probably important that you not use your ability for a little while until we can figure out if it'll still cause your memory problems. Jerome Blair put something in you to help with that, but also to interfere with previous existing memories. I was hoping to talk to you about it.
So I was still suffering memory loss from using my power, and he glances over at Patel, and she's like, Lacey's right, and you probably shouldn't speed for a bit. Let's... God damn it, I need a laboratory, you guys.
I think all of us need to get out of here.
Okay.
You know, I think actually Sophia's probably right.
You look so cool.
Yeah, by the way, at this point, the energy having bled off, Sophia is in full lich form right now and is kind of wheezing this out of this visage. Now, just so you know, in this form, Sophia immediately exudes an aura of intimidation.
Yeah.
So
Half of me is very scared.
it's not even a form of, think of it like this. It's not an animalistic threatening you know what I mean? Like when a bear is getting angry and bares its and like gives you its teeth, when its ears go back, or when it rears up, or when a wolf shows you its teeth and its tongue if it snarls at you. That's the animalistic way of saying back the fuck off. Looking at Sophia in this form is not like that at all. It's not an animalistic level of intimidation. You were looking at
Feeling
death.
dread.
It's a feeling of dread. This feeling, this instinctual feeling that one might get if they were too close to the ledge of a building and about to go over. It's that I'm close to death right now. And it speaks to an animalistic side in everyone around her. It doesn't seem to cause the panic that it might, say for, like, as you know, because when you first did this in front of Casey, she full on panicked.
She freaked.
But you also remember that when you did this the first time in front of the agents that came to take you, they also flew into a panic. The six, however, are looking at you with dread trepidation, but not retreat. Nobody loses it.
I've seen scary.
And Cass is even kind of like, you can hear the fear, but Cass is like, that's awesome. Like,
Kind of a rush. You're really scary.
Some people look at that big height and feel the call to jump. I guess.
yeah.
I'm not completely ready for everyone to know about this, so I
wouldn't
think
do-
I'm going to get in one of the ships and then turn back.
I wouldn't deliver the weather like this.
I'm not a meteorologist.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch. Okay. Right.
Have you never watched the news?
I mean, I know her from the news, but I don't know if she did other things or like what is it? That's My Baby or something?
Baby knows best.
Baby Knows Best.
We
Whatever.
have to watch some episodes of that immediately. Sorry
Really
if that
do.
makes you feel off. But
Wait, you're on the news? Snaps looks at you.
I'm gonna go to the ship.
With that, she turns and begins plugging.
Hey, you guys want to take our base back?
Yeah.
Yes. My
Tell-
sleeping cap is there.
Patel says, I need somewhere to do the work.
Yep.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a nap.
But like right now, yeah,
Yes.
right
It's
now.
about 2:30 in the morning now.
I think I need.
I'm fine.
So keep in mind, the EMP the battle in the sky to stop the bus from falling.
It's been a big day.
The Cassium locking Jerome down in the Cassium lab was earlier that afternoon. It has been, the past 6.5 hours have been a lot for all
I'm
of us.
gonna do a recovery roll while we have this conversation.
Okay. You kind of just shrugging off the fact that you had a 1-ton piece of tech dropped on your head.
Yeah,
Get 10
actually,
points back.
Before we decide exactly when to take the base, I'd like to use a certain special thing.
Hey,
I
time
haven't
friend.
used yet. Not time.
Want to speed up our nap?
Sight. Well, no.
speed up our nap.
idea.
We'll speed up
Yeah.
everyone
Are
else's.
you basically
Oh, I'm
using Farsight? You want to look out?
Remote viewing. So yeah.
What is
Smart.
what is the range
Okay.
on that?
So, distance is an illusion, so that's the range.
Okay.
As all space is one space, with great concentration, you can see another place. This ability can be used in one of two different ways: distance and direction. Pick a spot a specific distance away in a specific direction. For 1 minute, you see from that vantage point as if it was where you stood. Think of a place that you've seen before, either conventionally or using the other application of this power. So I've conventionally been to the base before.
Yeah. You are intimately familiar with that place.
For 1 minute, you see from that vantage point as if that was where you stood. Either application takes anywhere from 1 action to hours of concentration, depending on what you feel is appropriate due to time, distance, and other mitigating circumstances. I don't know in advance how long it will take. Action to initiate. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So you're gonna do this now?
yes, but I want to get a view of it, so I don't want to be. I want to be like in the water, basically. As if I were floating in the water looking at the base, not on the base.
In the window,
so that I can
moonlight
see
looked out?
in. Yeah. So I can see inside and outside.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I do it?
Yes. Do you want to do this on the roof or do you want to get on the ship first?
We can get on the ship. I'll
Whichever-
be doing that. Yeah.
Because this is gonna be a scene.
Okay. We should probably get on the ship.
Let's get on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone starts to load back into the ship, and Casey is still just like doing the breathing that you've.
Good.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Tanton would have been proud of that.
You just see her flinch as you talk to her. She's like, "I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be scared right now, and I think I'm doing an okay job. Personally, I think I'm doing an okay job."
Yeah.
And Patel goes, "No, you're doing a great job. You're doing great, kiddo. You're doing great."
As soon as the doors close, I'll change back.
As y'all are piling into the ship, you notice that Snaps and Duke are not following you. They're standing there at the base of the ramp. They come to a stop.
There's more burgers inside.
Duke looks over at Snaps, and Snaps does this kind of emotion, and Duke takes a few steps up the ramp, and she just goes, "I'm sorry I was a bitch. I thought y'all were the assholes. I was the asshole. It was a lot of fun to fight you, though."
I'm not sorry I punched you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was okay. But, I mean,
I guess I'm
you don't
glad you're
punch
okay.
that hard. I mean,
Oh boy.
and Snaps just goes, "Hey,
Not on your best day, kid.
and she just says, "We still got one more of us out there that we gotta find."
Your gooey friend?
Yeah, our gooey friend.
What's his what?
What's that?
You know, the thing that makes you go, what? What's his thing?
He was cool.
Yeah, but there's something about it.
His name's Maris, and he was part of the C5 group. Well, do you want to tell the story? Can you remember it now? And Snaps goes, "Yeah. He was one of the test subjects they first tried the C5 energy source on, and it liquefied him. They presumed him dead, so they kept his genetic material in containment. And when they opened up the thing that they kept him in, he reformed and said hi. And ever since then, Cassium started trying to develop a suit to allow him to be able to contain himself so he could use his body. And they built a prototype, which I guess got stolen at some point. And
Yeah.
Okay, we're the assholes.
so he stayed in containment until Jerome came down and freed all of them. And yeah, he's just a kid. And he's pretty easy to influence. Like me, I guess.
Do you have his number?
No, he doesn't carry any tech on him.
Ah,
He has the abilities to, well, if you think that she can take a hit, Maris, I've seen survive physical punishment that nothing on this world could survive. His body can literally withstand physical trauma that is really impressive. I mean, it's basically punching Jello. Imagine how that would go for you. Jello wouldn't care too much.
Sticky.
Yeah, less sticky and more acidic. At any point, Maris, if he decided he wanted to try to digest anybody, he could kind of pull a Blob the movie thing. Have you ever seen that film?
Oh, my dad loves that movie.
So
Yeah,
Dad on his old side.
I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but Maris kept referencing it.
The most disturbing
So-
ones.
if he has no tech on him, how would you get in touch with him? He's in the wind now.
Yeah, I don't know. And Duke says, yeah, that's what we got to find out. It can't be too hard for a translucent green blobby guy running around LA to do that for too long, not in this day and age, right?
we might be able to use Dr. Patel's machine.
Dr. Patel pipes up and she says, yeah. Yes, we could definitely use it.
Okay. Okay, so we take back the base, we find your gooey friend, and
There's so many things happening. I kind of forgot. Who were those people shooting at us? And are you safe right now? And
Oh, it's Nystral, right?
is it?
Do we know that?
Yeah,
You
it's
said.
Possibly.
Nystral Corp. No, which is why I'd love for us to leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was only one strike team, but there were 12 of those clones that were watching us before. So my best guess, 12 strike teams coming on this one point. So
Whoa.
I mean, at that point is when Casey pipes up and says, she's right, because the first time it was like 6 dudes. And the second time it was 12 dudes. And this time it was 30. So I think they're catching on that it's a tricky grab.
If they try to come for us or our friends, they will find they do not have enough dudes.
Word.
So, do we want to have slumber party in the ships, and then in the morning have fighting party in Blue Dolphin Base, and then hopefully the next night have slumber party but in Blue Dolphin Base?
it sounds like a plan to me.
Works for me.
it's a lot of party.
Can we go to Malibu again?
I think that's probably a good
Little
place to
nighttime
stay.
Um,
And as we fly over,
Moonlight
maybe we
looks
can
at you and says, and signs, could you fly? I don't think I can do it right now.
Yeah, I think I can. I don't know if I can do both.
Both?
Oh, no, yeah. Honey baby.
The honey baby immediately
no.
pivots.
Oh, right.
Shall I take the second transport operator, Lacey?
Yes, designation Grace.
Grace.
Grace, huh?
You watch of the bluster and the flare. Duke kind of steps aside as this droid walks past her. She says, "Is that a Traeger war droid?"
And I think Divide Your Mind probably ends at this point, so ghost instance of Lacey back into me as she asks.
You blink a little bit. There is a green glow that only those who would be able to perceive the data transfer itself would notice, but Lacey glows
Are you
green
doing
for
the
a
thing
second.
again? Okay. Oh.
And you hear Honey Baby in the distance say, "Transfer complete," as he continues to walk.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we were hanging out, but I was listening.
Oh.
Is that better?
Yeah. I'm trying to prepare for it. Getting used to it. Getting used to it.
It's really disturbing. Like, really, really disturbing. Sorry. I don't mean that to.
No, it's true. It's very disturbing. I'll
Always
back you up
gotta
on that. But not that it's a
with-
bad thing.
I don't want to put you on. It's just a robot thing.
Sorry.
We
Personally,
got everyone
I've
loaded
seen
in,
worse
ready for wheels up.
things.
Snap stops and is like, "Are we doing this?" And
We could use some help taking back the base.
Duke is just like,
More fun things to punch that are bad guys.
"Yeah, look, I'm just with you until we find Maris, and then I'm out."
Blah, blah, blah. You're very cool. Get on the
Fair
ship.
enough. You know what? After what you put us through, you owe us one. So help us get this base back, and we'll help you find your friend. And then you owe us again.
Snaps turns and looks at her and just says, I mean, what else are you gonna do? And she's like, run? I mean, if we're gonna do this, we're basically turning our back on Fletcher and he's gonna know. And then what? Then what?
It's cool. We're gonna kill him.
Yeah, he's not gonna be around
It.
for much longer.
We're gonna kill it.
Thought it was them.
Yeah, we're gonna kill them.
Snaps looks back and says, yeah, they're gonna kill them. So you wanna, I don't know, you wanna punch him or something? And she, as everyone finishes loading up, she just folds her arms and is like, we're still dying, Snaps. And Snaps says, how do you know that? I don't know that. Do you know that?
That's why we need the lab.
If we go back to the base, we can find that out. Because some shit's happened. Wouldn't you agree? And she just, yeah,
Do you feel different?
a little, yeah, I do, yeah.
If nothing else, I'd really like to try to get the good part of that deep brain stimulator working again. The one thing that Jerome Blair didn't screw you over with.
I haven't seen any evidence that he screwed me at all. He was one looking out for me. And Snaps says, no, he was screwing you. He was screwing you with your pants on. I mean, look what he did to me.
He's a PhD bag.
And
He killed me.
Snap steps down the ramp. Snap steps down the ramp and looks her in the eyes and just says, look, you can do whatever you want. No one's going to try to stop you. Do whatever you want to do. But out there, there's no answers. In here, there's a shot at an answer. Stick with me, all right? We've come this far together. Stick with me. And she scratches the side of her head a little bit, and then you see her finally notice that she's got some caked blood behind her ears, and she just kind of... You're a fucking asshole. And he's like, yeah. She steps up the ramp after him and muscles by you, Cass, like bumps into your elbow and steps up.
Folded arms and you're punching.
And as
Big
Snaps
adorable
walks
smile.
past you, he leans down and says, she's 18. And steps up the ladder.
Snaps need some updates. It's cool.
His way
Maybe you
of
should
saying
have a
she...
Snapchat.
Yeah.
A baby.
Yeah, she's a kid. And everyone's on board.
Can I? Sorry to do this.
What's up?
Who wants to go hunting in the other ship real quick? See what's in there.
Yeah!
I was thinking I might fly with Honey Baby, so yeah.
Who's gonna
Okay.
fly our ship?
So, Oya, you're gonna go on Gale?
Whoever
Or
else
Grace,
wants
rather?
Me, but with my brain.
Grace.
Oh,
yeah.
He's going on Grace.
I wouldn't mind checking out Grace.
Okay, so
I think everybody
So this will be a little more
wants to.
space in here.
Yeah, more space on Grace.
There's still
Okay.
a van in
Who's
here,
staying
so
on
there's a
that?
lot of...
Who's staying?
I feel like one of us should stay. I'll stay, because
Do you want some
Okay.
ciphers though?
I mean, yeah,
we can hand them out.
You can hand them out.
Okay. Good.
You get a bomb.
Right.
You get a bomb.
Yeah.
Come on, just throw me some stuff when we get out.
Yeah, with the
right.
van, it's a
After
little crowded
getting
now.
out of
Exactly.
the open air with anybody could be recording anything, then change back.
The vitality begins to seep back into your body. You all watch as that ashen color returns to that black skin, just spreads throughout her body. Your nails returning to like a healthy coloration. Your hair immediately becomes less of a cracked mess from just the lack of nutrition, just immediately seeping back in. It regains that color, begins to form all over again. You notice that it's like watching someone come back to life right in front of you as you see the eyes go from that milky white back to that beautiful like bark brown, and you see
It's like reverse Ark of the Covenant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that the first time.
You're like,
Is that another movie reference? Damn it.
yeah.
It's like putting a gallon of moisturizer on all at once.
It's amazing how instantaneous I feel like I don't need to puke anymore. Like that, that anxiety puke.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna vomit.
You
scared.
smelled
I
a little
feel
bit.
it.
Did I?
I'm not gonna lie.
A little, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just
I
kind
don't
of
think
always
I.
there.
I
Yeah.
really don't
think
I don't think you exceeded
I don't
smell.
think you can tell.
Oh, did you?
I really.
Oh, wait, you couldn't.
I really don't.
The visage of a walking
migraine, and
corpse.
then the
is like-
migraine goes away, and you go, God, I feel so much better.
I didn't
No, I still have
smell
it.
anything. Maybe it was the last thing that you ate.
No, definitely
Yeah.
like a
That was-
dead
yeah.
mulch smell.
No,
But,
it was.
you know,
Each is normal. It was.
Oh, wait,
I
I want
smelled very normal.
On my
Yeah.
on my way out.
But Hops, I do appreciate the gloves. I think that I'm okay for right now.
You sure? Yeah, these still kind of smell too, but that's okay.
There's no smell. There really is.
Wait, is there not?
Snaps approaches you as everyone's talking. Cass snaps approaches you as everyone's talking and strapping in, and he's like, "Hey, can we talk while we fly? Because I just want to catch up on some stuff, and I also feel like I got to explain her a little bit, unless you don't want to.
Please.
Sure, but, you know.
What is her deal?
Yeah. I'll tell you. It's not that exciting, actually. It's she throws her balls in everybody's face. I'll explain it. Like, she's got some inadequacy issue, but don't tell her I said.
Who just fights people?
Yeah, that's what she does. Kind of. I'll explain.
Hey, Lacey, where's that tape?
Oh, it's over there by where I put up the tape in the corner.
Perfect. Okay, Cass, I told you I'd fix it. Come here for a sec.
She came, she saw, she duct taped.
And I just grab your elbow and start taping your jacket
The bullet
closed
wound
again.
on the
yeah,
elbow.
just safety.
Oh, so much better.
And then I put the rest of the roll of tape on my wrist
Okay.
and start heading over to Grace.
Okay. So as you're walking up, so you're on Grace. Everybody else is on.
No, I think everyone was going to Grace.
I think we were going to Grace.
Everybody's
I was
going on
gonna
Grace.
stay.
Oh, okay. So the
I was going to
NPCs are
stay
going
with
on.
Snaps and them because I just felt weird that we all left them. I'm like,
Well, I'm gonna talk to Snaps now.
Yeah.
oh, right.
Okay.
Oh, you're staying too. Cool.
So everyone loads up
Yeah,
onto the
I guess
ship.
I want to
Just
catch
check
all of.
that ship out and make sure it's all okay.
Okay.
Shape.
So as everyone's loading up into the ships, Snaps walks over to you and he puts his arm up like he's leaning in close to you so no one else can hear, and he just says, "So Jerome had us all convinced that he was our salvation, and that he was gonna find a way to use the Callisto energy in conjunction with the Fletcher to save our lives. So that's kind of where it all started. They found me on the side of a road asking for directions like a dumbass. I don't know where Duke comes from. She hasn't really talked about her past too much, but we've kind of bonded. And it's mostly because I don't take her tough talk very seriously. And I think she understands that I see through that bullshit. But she's an angry kid. And Maris, I know the least about him. Just that he seems like, look, he needs to be in a comedy act is what he needs. He needs to be like on a sitcom or something and not doing supervillain stuff.
We know someone in the business now.
But look, that's the surface stuff. The other stuff I wanted to tell you real quick is just that Jerome,
What did he do to you?
I don't fully remember all of that, to be honest. Like, I've got some of my memory back, but it's not. I remember that there was a train incident, but I don't remember what happened.
You helped people.
Oh. Did I help you guys?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Because I remember you pulling me out of that lab. And I remember Patel. She's good too. But Jerome kind of went AWOL. He felt like the corpse had abandoned him. And then, knowing that he had a death sentence and figuring what does he have to lose, he kind of rebelled. And he took a bunch of the Cassium soldiers with him.
Okay.
And started his own little group.
Is that who we saw just now?
No, I don't know who that was. I don't know who those guys are. But they were dressed in, it looks like corp uniforms of some kind. Looks like they're hit squad. I've seen him before, but
Okay.
Are we all hearing this or?
who's on? Because this is still on the main.
Amelia.
This is still on Amelia.
Okay. And I'm on
Okay,
Grace.
so this is happening while y'all are starting to take off and in flight.
I'm still on Amelia, but I don't have to hear this if you don't want me to.
Oh, you can.
Okay.
I mean, he's keeping it low because he doesn't want
Duke
to hear.
What did Jerome send you to the garage for?
Yeah. So, in many ways, Jerome is kind of like an anti-Patel because he's doing the same work that she was doing, except for he's doing it, in the Jerome way. And anyway, he developed a device that allowed him to locate what he called like singularities at the Callisto event. A scientific way of saying, hey, look, there's Callisto here. Let's go grab it.
Yeah, shiny thing.
Yeah. So that's what led us to the garage. And his whole thing was the more of the energy we have, the more we can give to Fletcher, the more we have a chance of living. It's kind of the whole thing. And we figured, yeah, why not? He also said something else. Fuck.
Don't stress it. You just got
It's
your
okay.
memories
It's,
back.
it's okay.
It's really important, though. Fuck. Duke, hey. And she looks up. She's like, yeah. And he just goes, what was Jerome saying about the pinpoints? Do you know what I'm talking about? When he was talking about, remember when he was showing us the map? And he was talking about pinpoints? And she's sitting there looking at him going, no. Are you talking about the knots? And he's like, was that when we were talking about the map? And she's like, I guess. What do you want to know? And he's like, I can't remember. He was saying something about different parts like becoming a problem, like zones? And she says, yeah, that's the knots, dude. Yes, he was talking about the knots. Okay, so what did he say about the knots? I don't remember. And she's like, I'm not gonna fucking say this in front of them. And Snaps goes, okay, listen. And he approaches her and...
Duke, hey, I'm Cass. You got lied to, and you got some shit done to you, and I'm really sorry about that, and none of that is your fault. Now you get to decide what the fuck you're gonna do. I'd like to suggest trusting us and working with us.
Make a roll. Do you have persuasion?
Oh, God, no.
Make a roll, Cass!
All right.
She has persuasion.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Just a different kind.
Here's the thing.
I got wound tender, but it's not a metaphor. It's
Yeah.
just for actual bruises.
So the difficulty of this is going to be 4, but I'm going to give you an asset because, believe it or not, Duke has an enormous amount of respect for you because you beat her in a fight. So get a +1 asset as you level with her and stare her down and tell her
What,
what's
didn't
what.
we bring the counselor?
So
Okay.
it drops to 3. Yeah, where's sitting when you need him?
What kind of... I'm at Shion, but that'll do.
Yeah, Kristen Shion.
Is this an intellect spend?
Yes, this would be an intellect spend.
Okay.
So it's demanding. You need a 9 or better.
I'm gonna put 2 levels of effort into it, which is most of my pool.
We're about to nap.
We love you, Cass.
Yeah, you can take a nap.
So difficulty is going to drop down
To 1,
to
right?
1. You need a 3 or better.
To be on the safe side, should I do more, or should we just take our chance? We'll see what happens.
19. Very convincing.
She has gone as far as she can go with her stubbornness. It's gotten to the point where she's just outright contradicting common sense. And when you look her in the eyes and tell her all that, it's the first time where you see an 18-year-old. Before then, you couldn't tell. You thought you were looking at a young adult that just wanted to hurt people. Yeah. But as you say that to her, there's a small
This
bend.
is not painful in any way.
Yeah. There is a small bend in her eyebrows, like she's fighting back for a second, and then she wipes her nose and she looks away, like you can see her
I look away to be like...
dodging the eye contact.
Yeah.
She looks away, and Snaps says, "I mean, she's right. You've got this handled. What she said was pretty good." And she just goes, yeah. Jerome was talking about, weird sci-fi shit that supposedly is going to start happening in the next week or so.
Okay.
And Snaps goes, yeah. This is the important shit yes. You might want to get your friends on a mic for this one.
Yeah. I call everybody.
As y'all are-
Hops is here. Okay.
I'm here. I'm just been watching.
Probably fine.
By the way, Grace feels alien. Like she has the same interior that Amelia had when you first stole her that night you all got your powers. She still feels like a military grade, off the records drop ship. We'll do the cipher search when we do a touchdown. But
Let's make this place feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Tape,
X-Jet 2.
Grace,
Nice.
brackets, because Lacey says so. Heart.
Okay.
Better. Oh, hey, Cass, what's up?
Yeah. Wacky sci-fi shit's gonna happen, and there are knots in the map.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Snap,
Hold on.
you're
they
on
got
speaker. Go ahead.
You guys, everybody listening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is secure? Wait.
What map?
Sorry, I forgot Lacey.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
All I need. I
Respect.
just need the recognition.
So we're going to let Duke talk because she actually remembers what was said. And I think even if I remembered it, I wouldn't know that. And she stands up and gently shoves, snaps aside and says, shut the fuck up and let me talk. All right. Yeah. So here's the thing. Jerome, when he was giving us his spiel, he was talking about these knots of the Callisto energy source going to start randomly appearing in the city because of some kind of, I don't know, dimensional property with the energy he was talking about. And it was going to start changing. It was going to start changing shit. He essentially started talking about how throughout Los Angeles, because of the saturation point, that there's going to be zones where reality just starts doing whatever it wants.
Oh, crap.
wow.
So like the moon base, but all over LA, right?
Wow.
Patel just goes, no, it wouldn't be like that. Moonbase was a center point for the pure Callisto 6 energy shatter point. This is more like ash falling out of a fire, so it's going to be less intense. It'll just be everywhere. I need to get to a lab to test this theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick question. Are all of those going to be weakening the fabric of space and time, where we're going to have to worry about worms and more?
Are you asking me? You hear Duke on the other side say,
Oh yeah, there's worms. That might sound weird.
Duke doesn't reply to that, but she
Never
does turn
mind.
and look at the rest of you like, are your friends fucking high? She like cocks her head to the side.
What?
And
That's the weirdest thing you've seen today?
Snaps goes, yeah, there were zombies in those suits. That was something.
Someone's
was
raising
something.
them using Callisto energy.
Dr. Patel, I might be able to aid you if you get to a laboratory. I do have, let's say I have some evidence that you could compare things to. Amongst other things, one of the reasons why I'm being hunted, they might have found out that I've been playing a somewhat dangerous game. I've been funneling information from the corporations to other corporations so that they would fight amongst themselves.
You see, Casey gets up out of her seat and she's like, the password shit that I brought to you when I thought someone was hacking in our system, that was you passing information.
Yes.
Razor cuts!
Oh my God. How can you do that? That is so dangerous.
Someone has to do it, Casey. That's another reason why I kept you out of it.
She just plops back down.
Do you think I didn't realize how dangerous it would be? Especially with being so incredibly high profile. If anything, I thought that would be a type of protection for me.
I'm going to ask you a question straight faced. And she stands up and she's like, and I want you to be honest with me. there was confusion that night. A lot of confusion. And we had suspicion there was something going on, but we couldn't verify it. And there were some steps that got missed. And in the end, we announced anyway. And no one disputed it, so we assumed it was correct. And we've moved forward ever since, so we assume it's correct. But if you've been dipping into it, I need to know.
Don't ask me.
Did Measure Z pass?
Don't ask me that. Unless you really want the answer.
Holy shit.
Wow.
She sits back down. Patel just goes, all right, well.
So back to the worms.
I can probably figure shit out if we get back to a lab.
Okay.
I have some data that you would want to access as soon as you can get to a lab.
Yeah, anything will help. Anything will help.
I have a lot of anything.
Is it on you?
No, you'd have to access it once you actually got there.
Well, it just so happens we have the world's first and most incredible technopath in existence, so shouldn't be a problem. Mostly like not even a stepping block really. What is the blocks that you would roll over, like the speed blocks they use on the road? And
Sleeping policemen. You run them over with cars, so I don't know why you call them that. But also,
there's that. On the other dropship, Duke just says, okay, so that's what I remember.
thank you.
It's a good start.
And Snaps says, thanks, Duke.
But I was like, holy shit, what did that mean?
I don't know.
Tip number 1, find smarter people, team up with them.
I mean, Maris is...
That was
I can't believe what I was about to say.
that theory did give us Jerome Blair.
Yeah, we don't. Jerome was our smart one. So,
Well, we got plenty of them.
hey,
We got this.
you don't have to tell me this. What'd y'all do with him?
He's safe.
Well, I'm not happy to hear that, but
Well, he's not gonna hurt anyone.
so you don't know, or and Duke says they're not going to tell you, dumbass, and he just goes, oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, it's probably a good idea. I don't know how good my memory is going to stay this way. I mean, I don't think I would try to, go back to that or anything.
No, it's not that at all. It's just right now we need to focus on other things. He's not a priority. We need to focus on getting our base back, finding your friend, and getting Fletcher. And
Getting Nitrile Corp off my back.
and getting Anton back.
Sorry, Snaps. We haven't told you that bit yet.
And at that point, Casey rises out of her seat again and says, wait, what do you mean get Anton back?
Someone over on that ship can fill you in.
She turns and looks at you, Cassis.
Oh, was she on our ship? I thought she was on Grace.
Oh,
She's on Grace.
I think she went on Grace.
Yeah, we're just on mic, so these
Yeah.
conversations happen fairly freely across
Yeah.
right.
two different.
Sorry, I'm very confused.
so she says, what happened to Anton?
We tell her.
So as you all fly through the night towards the spot you have found on the mountains, the cliff sides of Malibu, north of Los Angeles, far away from the garish neon city lights that illuminate 9 million people underneath an oppressed sky, you touch down in the aftermath of Casey learning that Anton has been lost, if temporarily, but lost. Sophia, this is also the first time you're hearing about Fletcher, exactly what Fletcher is. Fletcher's name has been used a lot especially from what you've seen, but from what you understood, is that Fletcher was an old man who died and passed his company on to Kylan, but then maybe wasn't dead and was pulling the strings from behind the scenes and was becoming this huge criminal figure in corporate Los Angeles. You knew that there was more going on with Fletcher, and that it was breaching into the realm of supervillainy, especially when the Callisto 6 came about and you began to see some of the things that were happening over at Cassium. But as you sit here and listen to the story of a dimensional being and time travel and things that would just break the mind, but are in fact now true, you come to grips with terms, just like Casey, who's discovering that Fletcher Cross is actually a being known as Voonkos, who is as ancient, beyond ancient as the world, from another part of whatever part of the universe, and is looking to burn this world into ash. It overshadows the mundanity of corporate malfeasance and corruption on the city level. And now we're talking cosmic apocalypse. And Casey's sitting here just trying to process this. And when the story's done and the ships have touched down, Casey finally pops. You hear a slight quiver in her voice as she says, "And Anton's with him right now?"
As soon as we touch down, I immediately walk out of the ship because I didn't even want to hear the story again.
And Patel speaks up and says, "Yes, and Voonkos is just to keep everything, organized, because I'm a scientist. Voonkos, it's more accurate to refer to Voonkos as them. They are an entity, a being that has transcended the typical form that we know as biological life and has become something that not even their own race recognizes anymore. And from what I've been told by them, they've had contact with one of the last members of the race, a race, I have it in my notes here, and she just pulls out a data pad. Oh yes, the Burima, which is a really kind of interesting name, and really doesn't do us any good right now. We're gonna get back Blue Dolphin, and it is 2:50 a.m. and I want to fall asleep so badly right now.
Did you guys find any blankets or anything on this ship?
Let's look.
There are in fact survival kits. Yes. So let's go ahead and do a quick cipher roll, and then after the cipher roll, Oya's gonna go sniffing around. Oya's gonna go sniffing.
So this is called Looking for Ciphers. Welcome to the game. I'm really excited.
Very fun.
All
Yes,
of you who
indeed.
are on that ship are gonna look for ciphers, which are special one-use bonus things. I got excited. I'm sorry.
I love that y'all look for ciphers.
Okay.
Excited. What?
Is this like a
Some
first
ciphers.
2d10?
All right. So who's all searching?
Oh,
Got two?
yeah, I
You wanna
see
look
them.
for it? Yeah, you can do it too.
I'm an investigative reporter,
Sure.
of course.
Yeah.
All right, Oya, what'd you roll?
39.
59.
I did too.
Oh,
Weird. It's very weird.
wow, that is weird.
Well, we're
And
looking in the same place.
Yeah.
so true to form, because y'all have come across these multiple times, but you come across an enhancer.
Love these.
Roll a d6.
Level 5
Oya?
for me.
What's that?
Level 5.
5 for you. Level
Just roll a 5? What is going on?
It means that they were both from identically manufactured kits.
Yep.
Also twinsies.
You both gain
Oh, hey.
intellect enhancers.
That's what many of us run on.
The difficulty of any task involving intelligent deduction, such as playing chess, inferring a connection between clues, solving mathematical problems, finding a bug in a computer code, and so on, is decreased by 2 steps for the user for 1 hour.
Wow.
Holy butts.
That's
In the
great.
subsequent hour, the strain increases the difficulty of the same task by 2 steps.
Oh, wow.
So once it wears off,
Okay, it's
you got a hangover.
Got it. Sure.
So these come in the form of small injections that you see, real tiny needle designed for the inside of the neck. It basically stimulates your brain. You're able to think and process information faster than normal.
how cool. I know exactly how I want to use it.
You just take both. You take Loomis too.
I'm going to figure out all the dimensions. All the dimensions are right here in my brain.
Looking for
I
ciphers.
did a 64.
64. All right. Oh, cool.
Do I add anything to that, like perception or anything?
Nope.
He's finding it
Very
on
cool.
a table based on.
And
fun stuff.
then you'll roll a d6 to see what level. it is.
You roll 2d10 and one more time.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
Custom rules for this one.
64.
What?
Okay.
Wow.
Now roll a d6 and add 2.
We broke chance, guys. This is insanity.
So which one of us secretly has
4.
domino powers?
4.
Yeah.
You receive a rejuvenator for speed pool. So it's a slap patch that you put on the temple of your head.
Okay.
And what it'll do is once you use it, and you activate it, it will immediately restore 4 points to your speed pool.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yep. It's pretty cool. By the way, for the audience at home that has been following every time we look for ciphers, because of the setting, I have been using the subtle ciphers table. So you're not. The only time I have not used the subtle ciphers table is when Gina rolled a grenade that could create a black hole.
Yeah, it's still at the base. Let's
Yes,
see it.
which I'm allowing.
In a case that no one will
But
open.
at the time that was in season 1,
Yeah.
and the world did not have the saturation of the Callisto energy. Super science was not possible just yet. There
Yeah.
was still so I decided that subtle ciphers made a lot more sense for the game
The
world.
singularity
for this
bomb?
moment.
The
What's
naked
that?
singularity bomb? you
Yes.
mean? The one
Which-
I wrote down that just says so much death.
Yeah. That one. That one that creates a singularity.
It's a
after it
level
pops.
10 bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it opens a naked singularity.
Yes. You open a miniature black hole.
Yeah, let's
You're
not,
literally
let's not
that
throw
character
that
from
bomb.
Anchorman just
Let's-
holding a grenade out.
Can we
Like,
save that bomb for Fletcher, please?
Oh yeah, no, this is that.
do
It has,
so
a,
much
it has a
science.
special place in his face.
So,
Was
who
it
else
brick?
looked for ciphers
You're
on the
brick.
ship? Was anybody else looking for ciphers?
Lacey?
Sam, did you?
Sure, because I could always divide out an instance and look as a honey baby.
Sure.
So
Yeah, that's true. That
I
action.
don't. Yeah, 51.
51. Man, it's amazing how y'all keep rolling in the same range.
We only go 30 to 60. That's it. That's the only part of the numbers.
Except that
he said.
one time I got like 24.
And the one time when I had to drive on the 2 really.
I'm going to do something kind of unusual. I'm going to ask you to roll again.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because I
appreciate you not being bomb out, bro.
I literally just feel like you're being cheated by that roll. So go ahead and roll again.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
61.
61.
So if you don't like 51,
Yeah.
take 10.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, interesting.
I just don't want
I don't know
you
how
to
use my
be...
speed pool. I don't have any powers.
Okay, so roll a
When you
d6,
do
Sam.
dodging, you're gonna need to spend from that
Reflex enhancer level 2.
to use speed defense.
The difficulty of any task involving manual dexterity, such as pickpocketing, locket picking, juggling, operating on a patient, defusing a bomb, and so on, is decreased by 2 for 1 hour, and there is no side effect.
Operating on a patient, you say?
Diffusing
This is a that's an what's that one
It's a
called?
pretty good cipher.
I don't know. What's the cipher called?
Reflex enhancer.
Reflex enhancer. Neat.
So it takes you about 30 minutes of y'all sifting around, but this transport does have enhancers all over it, as well as rejuvenators.
Nope.
So you managed to pick this kind of clean. When everyone has touched down, the 2 dropships parked very close to each other, it's ramps down, everyone begins to convene in one spot again.
I'm just laying out blankets.
Okay, yeah.
Some like
By
blank-
now, it's about 3:15 in the morning.
Yeah, setting it up fast.
You can hear the ocean and actually see the ocean from about 3 miles away. It is a clear night. What's up? Oh, I think you were asking. And kind of a cold breeze blowing up here in the Malibu cliff sides. But off in the distance, too, a great big glowing neon haze that is Los Angeles. It is like this is like a boundary just surrounded by a fog. Even with all of the incredible changes made in clean energy, the city just generates so much power and light pollution that it creates this ghostly like fog that surrounds the city. As everyone's getting their blankets out, Oya, you glance out over the water and see the light trickling down from the moon, that silver path, and glance back at everybody else, and then stare off in the direction which you somehow instinctively know is Blue Dolphin's direction, out near what was once Catalina Island, now submerged under the waves. And you focus. You imagine that base, the image of the living space, the living quarters. You can smell the coffee brewing. You can hear Luma cracking a joke and Cass making that short burst of a laugh that Cass gets when they find something clever. all of the sounds of Blue Dolphin coming back to your mind. And when you open your eyes again, you are surrounded by the hazy darkness of the water just outside the window. Inside, the lights of Blue Dolphin Base are on. The power has been restored. And you see moving around inside are people in white hazmat suits. Multiples, moving around, putting cases down, and running what looks like, if you didn't even know, but it looks like they were scanning for radiation. Moving around the interior of the base, and there's a couple of armed people there as well. And this is all just from looking in the window. Up on the screen, you can see the Cassium logo, and it looks like the system is being restored. And on the screen, talking to someone, which you can't really hear from out here in this window, you can just hear the ebb and flow of the ocean. Through the window, you see the face of Dr. Rand having a conversation with somebody who is in a suit, in a hazmat suit with their helmet on, still talking. And it looks like they're having a pretty intense discussion.
Fucking rude.
Dr. Rand is on the screen, or Dr. Rand is in the facility talking to the screen?
Dr. Rand is on the screen talking to somebody in the facility. Yeah.
How many people, how many hazmats and how many armed can I see?
So the armed guards, you see about 6. There are 12 people at least in this living space doing scans all over. A lot of this space looks like it's been torn apart, and you can see evidence of gunfire, but it's largely mostly intact. You can see some of the accoutrement that you had all brought down with you to make this a livable space. You even see scatterings of hay on the ground from the chickens when Dr. Patel grabbed them quickly and ran out with them. Couch is overturned. There's blast marks in all of the walls. And you see one of the scientists has just finished repairing what looks like the glass wall on the opposite end. But they are pulling out personal effects from everyone's room and bringing them into the center, and they're scanning them.
Do I see any vessel, any type of transportation outside that they might have come in?
You glance up. You can't see from this angle. You can only just see the exterior of Blue Dolphin Base disappearing up, and then you can see the surface of the water 60 feet overhead. But you can see that there is a ladder going down the hallway as you glance down that side of the window, and it does look like people are coming up and down the elevator of that ladder, which would indicate that someone is docked where you normally dock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't see that from, but
Yeah.
no, got it.
You become aware of something nearby. And kind of flinch a little bit. There is a harbor seal, which has swum up about 10 feet away from you. And you get the impression that it doesn't know you're there, but it senses you're there because its head keeps doing the twist and looking around, and it kind of floats up and then swims down a little bit more, and it's looking in your direction.
I'm just going to reach out to it. I don't want to touch it or freak it out.
You reach out to it, and for a second, its head reacts like it knows it's there, but it doesn't move. It just kind of continues looking around.
Hi, buddy.
It's an interesting contrast. It's a moment, Oya, where it's easy to forget that in the great megaplex of Los Angeles, that there's more life depending on you guys than just the citizens of LA.
We're going to get our base back. Yeah. I just take one more look at the base and I exit the
Can I
water.
have a moment with Oya on the cliff?
You see most people have bedded down. What's up?
I'd like to have a moment with Oya on the cliff if that's possible.
Can I say that I was sitting like yoga style, cross-legged on the
Oh yeah, this was
Looking out.
this was a Doctor Strange out of body
Yeah.
moment for sure. So as you approach Oya, right when you walk up to her, her eyes are opening, rolling back to the front of your head. There, by the way, is a ambient purple haze, a glow about her that every now and then behind her, you could swear that effect that I described when Lacey is pulling data from the stream, and sometimes y'all can actually see the ghostly images of data being pulled. With Oya, there's these strange symbols that are like scrolling behind her from nowhere to nowhere. And they form around her shoulders, almost like a halo, like somebody was using a prayer wheel, holding it horizontal and slowly moving it. And as you approach and she feels you coming close, she opens her eyes And that's when you realize that the area around her was actually distorting, and an insect, which you can only imagine a beetle, you didn't realize before was there, speeds up to normal time as she opens her eyes, and you see flies away. It was hovering, frozen in time for a moment, moving in slow motion, and then Oya's eyes snap open as you approach her.
Hi. I was hoping to have a moment with you, if I'm not interrupting too much. I understand about meditation and breathing. I'm trying to teach Casey that, in fact.
Yeah.
You touched me while I was in that undead form, more than just physically, I mean. And I was hoping that you could... I know what I feel, and I was hoping that you could tell me what you saw. Because things have changed for me. I don't view life the same way anymore. And if anything, I feel like you would know it's just gonna get stronger.
Yeah.
What did you see when you touched me? Am I a danger to everybody?
Oh. Well, I didn't see your future or anything, if that's what you mean. I can look if you want.
No, I don't want that. I just mean... I just wonder if I'm able to control this. I wonder if this is going to spiral out of control. And I guess I just wanted your experienced opinion, since I'm sure you've been here.
Just call me Dr. Oya. When I touched you, it was very freaky. But I felt you have an immense power. I mean, if there's this timeline that I can see that's a bubble or a circular track, I see it in lots of different ways in my brain depending on how I'm manipulating my power. But it seems like yours specifically is the track of life. You can rewind to birth or fast forward to decay. And that's huge. That's everything. And I haven't seen any reason that you wouldn't be able to control that. I mean, you're a trained actress, a reporter.
Baby Knows Best was so long ago. I love that.
Why do they
people
talk
still
about-
enjoy.
You'll never not be baby
that
to me,
show.
okay? You were like everything to me. I dressed up as you for Halloween so many times. It's embarrassing.
It was a really good, it taught a lot of life management skills for people. And then, of course, the acceptance of Android and also adoption and foster homes. So, yes, it was I was very fortunate to be part of that show.
Listen, my dad was obsessed with like old evil robot movies, and it really messed up my head. So I think your show is the only reason why I can be around our war droid friend. Honestly. So thank you for that.
Well, it was the writers.
But you won an Emmy for it.
That was a heck of a night. That was amazing. It really was. Yeah, it actually did inspire me to want to do more, to not just act the part, to be part of the action, so to speak.
Oh, well, you definitely got your wish there.
Yeah, yeah, big time. I never would have imagined that I'd be the type to do, God, should I say it? Corporate espionage, I suppose?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're a spy. You're a corporate spy. You're like I mean, I feel like you should have another TV show, but you'll just play yourself and do all the cool things you're doing now. But then I guess that would defeat the purpose, because then you couldn't still be a corporate spy, because then you would.
Because then everybody would know that it was.
Or you could just like live out in the open like that, and everyone would not be like, no, she can't really be a corporate spy because she has a TV show where she's a corporate spy. Oh my God, let's get you a TV show. How do you do that? I don't
You
know how to
sound
do
like
that.
my agent.
Let's do it. But no, seriously, like, yeah, I don't get evil, scary vibes from you, except when you look like an evil, scary thing.
Yeah, it's a lot. I've seen it. Casey was going to try to take a picture, so I could view it not as it, and yeah, no, she was terrified. It did not work. Yeah.
Wow. Can I try to see? I mean, with your consent, I can try to see something. I can try to predict your future.
Well,
Or at least tell you what options are available.
what actress wouldn't want that?
I'd like to. I know I have see history, which is technically for objects. But what can I do with that with a human?
Well, it would be a shame to deprive you of such a cool narrative scene. So this is one of those instances where if Monty Cook were here, he would say, "Oh, you can do that," because the rules are designed to allow for cool moments for characters, and it's totally within the balance. So absolutely, in this case, I would say, I think that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So if you want to do this, yes, it's for objects, but in this particular case, I would say Oya's connection. You grew up watching this fellow woman do what she does. There's kind of this ability to reach out and connect to that thread of fate because of that familiarity. Even though you don't know her personally, now that she's in front of you and you two are connecting, I would say you can reach out and see. And as much as I hate to do this, it's actually time for our break.
I thought it was going to be something else.
Indeed. So let's take 10 minutes. We'll come back. We have to discuss and possibly retake Blue Dolphin Base. And then we have to do some of the most epic power level palm reading in the history of ever. And yeah. So don't go anywhere, everybody. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Anticipation.
And welcome back. And now, are we all joining the butt train now? Is we're just gonna shout butts at me before we
All
go live?
aboard the butt
All aboard
train.
the butt train.
Toot toot.
God. I'm taking intellect damage from that one.
That is the kind of damage I cause.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right before we went live, I was having this goofy symbol of like, you know how there's been a lot of show pitch ideas of NPCs and what they do when they're not, in a video game or around. And I just pictured Rastalon, Malgog, and Voonkos just sitting in a room together, like smoking, and just being like, "So how'd you die? Did you die? Did they get you?" Like, I don't know.
You know that,
villain
that's
afterlife?
called Wreck-It Ralph, right?
Yeah. That's Wreck-It Ralph.
There's got to be a game here. There's got to be a game where all of y'all play all the villains that we've created over the years.
We'll talk.
What's that? We'll talk. Oh man, how demented would that be? All right,
playing now.
We got a big game to jump back into. So,
Patient. There.
in as Amy tries to reclaiming my time. All right,
No, this isn't my time. I'm taking it anyway. But
all right. So where we left off, you were taking the hand of Hakim Sophia, and you were going to try to see if you could get some glimpses into her future, correct? So you'd reached out, and as her palm rests in yours, the thing is, the talent of palm reading throughout history has
Excuse me, thank you. Took your sneezes.
has the talent of palm reading has had like every fortune teller out there, as they would say, has had something of a dubious reputation, mostly because of how many people do it just to get by. It has been very rare, but on occasion there are people out there that have been able to see things, intuit things that they should not be able to know. It's been very difficult to convince people of this, but you've known it since you were a little girl, Oya, because your mom told us stories about how your grandmother knew how to do it. And now here you are, somebody saturated in this reality-bending energy that has given you the ability to look and glimpse into and play in the waters of time and space. And the moment you touch Sophia's hand and look into her palm, the skin, the surface, the creases across the skin, it doesn't mean anything. The connection of the skin-to-skin contact and the subtle vibrations that you feel between the threads of fate, it's almost like you're just listening to her song. You're picking up on the vibrations in the ripples in the waters of time that Sophia has set into motion by things that she has done, little things, buying coffee, turning somebody down for a newspaper purchase on her way to work, little things like that, those little events that constantly set off chain reactions in the fate of everyone that surrounds that person. And with you begin to, again, feel those energies that Sophia has begun to manifest. This ability to tap into the energies of entropy. The universe is in a constant state of construction and deconstruction. It is the natural state to destroy and create in milliseconds. The universe is doing it on a scale that humans simply can't understand or comprehend. And Sophia seems to be tapped into that one area of that universe, that one manifestation, that vital area of the universe that is specifically designed to destroy so that creation can take place. The ability to manipulate that power, you're feeling it, and it manifests in this terrifying necromantic way to the human eye. But in truth, it is a manifestation of that power in human form. And you begin to understand that by touching her and seeing it through the lens of somebody who is gazing and can gaze across time and space with that detachment, without the sentiments of a human being. And with that understanding, as all of that begins to seep in and the familiarity, that is what is allowing you to link and to see into the future, to gaze into the decisions that Sophia is likely to make and the chain reactions that they will likely set off. and the paths open up in front of you. You can hear all different versions of Sophia's voice, from melodic to the hissing sounds of her lich-like form, taking place in various versions of reality. You are aware of that space that exists where multiple universes are happening simultaneously, infinite numbers of them. And in this one, you definitely see a branching effect. This Hakim Sophia, what you've come to know about her is that on the outside, she has portrayed herself as a mild-mannered reporter, but on the inside, she has every bit as much as driven as the rest of you, compelled to do what's right. And in some cases, even if that means playing the game. You see a couple of different versions of reality unfolding in front of you based on the decisions that has set in motion. You see a version of her future where she does not receive the Callisto energy source. A future that is now rapidly fading away from possibility. Almost like you're looking at its ghost lay itself to rest. And you see images of people storming into her apartment and shooting her in the bed while she's in the middle of eating dinner. A violent, horrible scene that immediately causes you to flinch as you experience it. You see a different version of that future where she has the powers that she has, but instead of fleeing, she stays and battles them. And one by one, you watch her sap the life from each one of these people, taking bullet shots to the chest, head, the neck, and not going down. Instead, her undead-like form takes it, flinching with every hit, and like the Terminator, just continues pressing forward until all of her opponents are dead. And then you see a hideous, cracking smile begin to spread across her dead face, as a different version of Sophia begins to emerge, one that doesn't feel the need to be bound by the rules that she has laid out for herself. Now having the opportunity to do whatever she wants. But she focuses now on the Sophia that's made the decisions it's made up to this point, all the way up to the moments where she has asked you and had this conversation with you. The true path. As the possibilities of decisions begin to fall away, you see a future in front of you. You see burning streets. You see crumbling buildings. You're hearing a distant roar, a thunder that's rolling through the sky. You can feel your breath or Sophia's breath exiting your lungs until it stops, and then your heart becomes like rock as you watch your hands begin to sink into a death-like state. You glance down and see Snaps looking at you with an expression on his face, blood smeared across the top of his cheek, and he's holding the lifeless form of Duke in his arms. Duke, from what you can tell, looks like she's taken severe trauma to the head and across the side of her chest. Snaps is shouting at you, but you can't understand what he's saying. And then you watch your hand reach down to Duke, and that necrotic energy that throughout fiction is constantly portrayed as this black sort of death energy. But to you, you witness blood, this red color, the color of life as it has appeared to humans, snake out and wrap around your fingers as you feel yourself literally pulling the entropy from the wounds of Duke, whose chest immediately starts to inhale with life as you pull the death from her body and contain it in the palm of your hand. There's another image in front of you now. You've seen it before. You can sense confusion from Sophia. You sense absolute terror from Sophia. But above the city skyline, standing, looming over buildings that stretch 50, 60 floors up, is the physical manifestation of Vunkos, moving like a giant creature of the apocalypse through the buildings. And it's just lumbering. There's a thundering noise. And you can feel the streets all around you rolling with ripples as the concrete splits and the asphalt breaks. You see parking meters toppling over as building windows shatter all around you and screams of citizens running. The night is ignited in flames, illuminating the skies into the color of blood. And it stops as it sort of swings its mighty torso to the right and then begins to swing themselves over in your direction. And in like those dreams, those lucid dreams you have, like when you have a nightmare that you've had before, but you're dreaming lucidly so you know what's about to happen, you feel that surge of panic suddenly approach as this visage of Vunkos turns and looks right at you. And Oya, they're looking at you, they're looking right at you. They're not looking at all at Sophia. To come. These are what awaits you, these visions. No matter what mirror you look through, Oya, I am there. Your fate is mine. Their fate is mine. No manipulation. No tricks. Vunkos stands before you at eye level, like a human being, walking up to you. His face sculpting in front of you, almost the way you've seen Luma's face shift. And you see Kylan Kraus stare at you with these baleful, glowing green eyes. There is no reality where you can run from me. There is no version of this that does not end as I see it. You are all the walking dead, just as your friend Sophia has portrayed herself to be. I am your past and I am your present, and I will be your future. Read every palm. I am there. Save as many lives as you wish, but in the end, they will all be particles of ash to be blown off the surface of my skin when I am done with this world.
It must be really frustrating to be such a powerful, interdimensional being and have a handful of kids with superpowers cause you so much trouble.
His hands slowly lower. Your words are as empty as any I had ever heard so many times. Across thousands of universes, all the possibilities, I am met with the same defiance. And every time, it all ends the same way, with me standing over the blackened skeleton that was once your body. And I will do it again. And I will be sad that it will be the last time, because it ends with you, all of you. And at that moment, moving into field of vision, you see Anton silently steps right into your field of vision. Next to Anton, you see Sophia step into your field of vision. And behind him emerges Duke. Behind that, you see Maris. You see the unmistakable form of Synapse and Sal, and a very furious-looking Moonlight stepping into your field of vision. One by one, you begin to realize that surrounding you from this future is everyone. And you see Vunkos in the form of Kylan Kraus start looking around. And the world goes quiet around all of you. And he starts, you see it. And this transdimensional being, this entity of incredible power, it's almost comical looking on his face, but it's uncertainty. And he says, "We're going to have so much fun."
I look forward to it. I snap out.
As you step back, his mouth elongates. He grabs you and starts pulling you.
I snapped out.
Yeah, just as you're entering his mouth, you just see this gaping void as he goes. You just start going in and you snap out of it. The horrifying thing about this entire journey was that, Sophia, you were witnessing all of that as a passenger. Everything Oya just experienced about the future, including your possible futures, when you snap out of it, Oya, you see the purple glow dying from her eyes as well, as she had been drawn in. The rest of you don't know what the fuck is going on, but up about 20 feet away, the two of them began to glow like the northern lights.
Sorry.
And again, you see those symbols begin to play around as time and space begin to distort and warp around Oya until finally you see a shattering effect in the air, like glass has been cracked, and then it reforms, and the glow vanishes. And the two of you at the same time gasp.
Hey, Hops, press pause.
Pause on the video you're watching.
Yeah. Baby got back, or whatever it's called.
Baby knows best.
Whatever.
Did you see that?
Yeah. What happened?
Are you okay?
So, I guess no TV show then.
These were just some options for the future. It doesn't show everything.
I was trying to make a joke with it.
I know.
but- Dear God. You know what? When they came for me in my own house, I almost did that. I almost changed right then. And I know that I wouldn't have stopped and I would have sucked them all dry. And I know that I would have liked it. But I ran instead.
You didn't do it. Yeah. Yeah, just remember that. Remember the core of who you are and what you're trying to accomplish.
He is so powerful. Them. So powerful.
Yeah. But seriously, he's scared of us. Why else would he be talking so much shit constantly? Every time I use my powers, he's terrified of it.
Hey, Sophia, make an insight check. Now, if I remember correctly, you've got specialization in this.
I do.
Investigative reporter.
Ooh.
The difficulty of this is going to be pretty rough. It's going to be 7, but it's going to fall to 5 because you've got the specialization.
Right.
And you can also.
And you can spend a level of effort to drop it down to 4.
Any asset from having seen some
yeah,
future
Yes, I will give you an asset because you did a vision quest where you saw it firsthand. So
Yeah.
it'll drop down from 7 to 6.
Okay.
And then with her insight,
Which will take 2
to
of that
4.
away. So that's
6,
4.
5, 4,
and then if you want to spin.
and
I'm
then
going to spend an effort.
3. So
I've got
you-
1 effort. I'm
Okay.
going to spend it.
Spend it. So it's out of your intellect pool, and
You don't have to
now,
raise it.
now you need a.
So then that just.
Now remember, you have an edge of 1,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that spend is only 2 points,
it goes
and
Okay, so-
now you need a 9 or better.
All right. Because it went from.
7 to 3.
I know math. I do know math.
And for the record,
just have 13.
as a person that it does not. First of all, it's worth pointing out that Sophia, being a brand new superhero, and not being directly touched by the Callisto 6 energy source, Sophia has no power shifts. So it is worth pointing out that as somebody who doesn't have any power shifts, largely functions as the same level as a human being who's got gifts. And as a human being, you just dropped a level 7 difficulty down to a 3, which is damn impressive.
Yeah.
So go.
real cool.
So you need a 9 or better.
I got a 19.
19.
19.
I got a 19.
She's very insightful.
Oya is absolutely correct. It doesn't matter. But the moment that Vunkos made the mistake of turning into Kylan Kraus, they subjected themselves to the same windows that we as human beings do. It's all in the eyes. They may be a transdimensional being that goes beyond the understanding of humanity, but the uncertainty, not to mention the bark They are very much uncertain. In fact, you're not sure how much of what you saw wasn't a light show designed specifically to frighten Oya. And why would you do that unless Oya scared the shit out of you?
Yeah, he shook. I could definitely tell that. You're right. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Freddy Krueger movies, where it's all spectacle, it's a dream. And because he was in control of that, he was able to show the worst and then be able to gut you until the people started taking control of their own dreams. Mm-hmm. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. The more we take control of our powers, the more shook he gets. So I guess he's Freddy Krueger. And we're dreamers, I guess? I don't know.
I'm okay with that analogy. This is a lot.
And at about that point, anybody who's making their way up to them can arrive now.
We were.
Okay.
I was watching the show.
The last thing I'm going to say real quick, as I sense them coming up, is no matter what, we need you to stay safe. And we all need to get really good at using our powers. So I would say start practicing.
I won't shy away from it, but I won't turn into that either.
Yeah.
There has to be a line.
Yeah.
All right.
You can make other people purple now?
Yeah, I guess I just did my first palm reading. You know what? I should set up like
Wait, that was your first what?
Yeah.
What? That was you made it sound like this is something that you did all the time.
I've done it on objects before, and I can kind of just see like a little bit into the future sometimes in general, but not for a person.
She does
okay.
incredibly cool time stuff, just all the time though. Like all the time.
Oh, you had me fooled. I thought I was like customer, 300. I was number one.
I mean, if we need some extra income, once the investment starts going through, I could set up a little stand on Hollywood Boulevard and just read people's palms.
We're not gonna make
I'm
you a
gonna tell you,
street
the dad
vendor.
makes
Oh yeah.
business plans.
What?
Apple doesn't fall from the tree. You're gonna be on the friggin' city council. I can tell. I can already tell.
You think so? Ugh.
This is your second small business plan today.
I do have a lot of small business plans.
Well, if you're seriously looking for investors, let me know. Obviously, I have connections.
Well,
Rich girlfriend, famous new friends. This
Gosh.
okay, let's keep in touch for sure.
Cass, I think you're the man now. Maybe.
Ugh.
I know.
So what are y'all doing?
Everyone needs to sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Okay, so we'll
Throughout
do
the
what's up.
rest.
What
May
you
I
got?
make a? Do I need to make a jury rig roll on the hops cap?
But we don't have a lab or anything.
Yeah, but Lacey.
That's true.
Counterpoint.
I was gonna keep watch just because I don't feel safe. I don't think.
That's why.
to be
we
honest,
have-
I don't think I'll sleep even if you.
Let
make
me
it.
let me ask you this, Lacey. With using tech use and your
paper and
assets,
stuff.
do you need to roll on a difficulty 7?
crafting might be
Crafting?
right around there. It's 6, but then with effort it goes.
Okay,
away.
so no, you don't need to roll.
Cool.
It takes Lacey about 30 minutes, but a few moments later, you hear the soothing whirring sounds of servos and engines, that slick noise of Aurora as Lacey comes right up to you, and
We need you to be okay for the fight tomorrow. Honey Baby can watch. Honey Baby doesn't get tired.
they are correct. Friddenly hops.
Okay, I'll try.
Thank you.
Would you like me to sing you to sleep?
No, thank you, but no, thank you.
Can we go to sleep now? I say as I'm still fishing cold fries through the chicken crate.
I kind of pick you up and carry you over to the bed you already started.
Oh, but the chicken.
They'll be there tomorrow. Beatrice is fine.
So, one by one, you all find it within yourselves to let the adrenaline of the day start to subside. and to put down your cares just long enough to allow your bodies to recuperate. For the last 12 hours has been the busiest of your lives since you received this power. And that includes the trip to and back from the moon, which technically was only about like a 4-hour trip.
Yeah.
And then sleeping most of the way on the way home. But this has been non-stop since yesterday morning. And it does not take long for sleep to find all of you. The last thing you see, Lacey, before you doze off is the body of Honey Baby, just its torso. You see that it has the hatch mechanism where it once kept a 30-millimeter Gatling gun attached to its arm is open. No gun there, but obviously an intimidating sight. Whoever would spot y'all might think that it's armed, and Honey Baby just and so rhythmically that it's actually kind of calming. And to sleep you all go. You wake up to the sounds of gulls calling out in the air and the distant roar of the surf slapping against the beach. The smell of salt from the sea and the cool winds of Malibu blowing across your face and hair. You've gotten a full night's rest. I'm going to let everyone's pools go back up to normal. Yeah. It's about 9 a.m. The sun is starting to creep up in the sky.
For Lacey, I did sleep, but I had nightmares.
You see,
It's not fun.
as you all,
took a rest.
Lacey, as you wake up, you open your eyes and you see Honey Baby standing completely still, which is unusual because they were doing the guard mode thing. But you see the reason why is because there's 2 gulls, one of them on his head and one of them on their shoulder. And Honey Baby has refused to move. It's just standing there.
Oh my god. Did he get pooped on?
I use my contacts.
Okay, you take the picture.
That's super cute.
Did you get the picture, Operator Lacey?
Yes.
Thank you.
If you wanted to shake, it'll probably shoo them off. They won't be mad.
I am uncertain if I wish to do that yet.
That's fair. Do you want me to go grab some fries and bring them so you can feed the birds?
Do they eat fries?
They eat everything.
Tuppence a bag.
Yes. I believe I would like that, Operator Lacey.
I open a wormhole. I grab a bag.
You rip open fabric of space, reach inside. A hand appears out of nowhere and grabs one of the fry bags. And you hand it.
That was my cafecito. That woke me all the way up.
Getting kind of used to them.
You see the gulls getting agitated from the movement and the booming voice of this droid until the gulls see the fries, which leads to other gulls seeing the fries. For those of you who are trying to wake up and are having difficulty doing so, you are startled awake from the multiple screeching sounds of mine. And
I didn't say it was a good idea, y'all.
Sal is watching, going, something that y'all note is as Sal is standing up on the hillside, you see Moonlight standing next to him. And Sal isn't so much watching what's going on with the gulls. Sal is staring out into the ocean right now. And the 2 of them are just quietly standing side by side. You just see the shadows of their forms about like 40 feet away. And for those of you who are watching this, Patel's shaking sand out of the blanket that she was sleeping on, and she stops when she sees this and she goes, "Oh my god. That's I think this is Sal's first sunrise, you guys." Shakes out the sand. We went from Blue Dolphin to the warehouse in the dark, and we stayed there. We didn't leave. And she folds it up. He's never actually been. He's never seen the water from this side before.
Seems like he's doing okay with it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it is nice and distant.
So you're trying to get your base back today.
So that we can get that lab.
I want to help in any way that I can. I especially need to exercise my powers more.
Right. Well, then I guess all we've got to do is start talking about how we're going to do this.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I was able to go see the base
What? Cool?
with my,
Yeah. No way.
Superhero shit, right?
yeah. So,
How does it look?
well, it's all intact. I mean, the outside is all intact. It's not flooded. The power is restored. It does look like Cassium took it back. There's a bunch of people in white hazmats, which are probably scientists. They were, or at least some type of field agents scanning our belongings. We didn't have anything personal down there. And there were some armed guards, but nothing we can't handle. And yeah, there was a direct line connection to Dr. Rand, by the way.
Ooh. Surprise, surprise.
On the comms. Yeah. So I don't know if that's.
I want to look that up after we clear out the base. There might still be some logs that I could piece back together, but I don't want to accidentally trip anything and ruin the element of surprise.
Yeah.
So
They should just think that the base is non-functional, so they never come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Might be able to flood it.
Oh.
I mean, I could flood it, but
No. Make them think it's flooded.
that's so much better.
Might at least get some people evacuating in a quick manner.
Oh, good. That saves so much lab equipment.
And if you want, Visage of Death walking through that while,
Honestly,
it's flooding,
that would be great.
I mean,
I could do that.
That would probably spook the hell out of them. You busting through that glass window and taking it down with you.
They'll never go back there again.
Well, busting through. I'll do that part. Gosh, I miss coffee from our base.
Yeah.
It's so early.
Rise and shine, we got this.
you can have some of my super gross caffeine drink if you want. I know you hate it with the hate of 1,000 hates, but you can have it anyway.
Thank you.
She's really tired.
It's weird. If I get up at 4 a.m., it's easy peasy. I can do that. I do that all the time. It's when you wait a little bit after that, when all of a sudden it comes hard again.
We want to
Why
sleep
is
after
that?
3. It messes with your whole circadian rhythms.
Oh.
Okay, so...
I try to wipe some sleep things out of your eyes. You're quiet.
I just
covered in drool. What's wrong with you?
It's our finest quality.
It's at that point you realize
Sleep
there is.
mucus?
Yes, certainly.
That's my best feature?
What did you think it was? That you're super kind, that you're really smart, that you're really creative and artistic and good at crafting.
No, definitely the
that
mucus.
You dress super great. No, obviously it's the mucus. See, I'm right.
Everybody's so damn cute. Let's go. I'm kind of crazy.
sleep
I didn't.
okay?
No. Sorry.
So how are we getting there? Are we flying one of the ships?
Oh
or-
yeah.
Yes.
Bit of a submarine.
Lacey did the thing.
Hey, is the invisibility
thing.
thing up and working yet?
I haven't been able to do any crafting since we got back from the moon.
Right.
Yesterday.
Her day
It's
before.
been
All right.
not nearly enough time.
No.
And please know, there is nothing I want to be doing more. I want to free the base
Yeah.
so that we can have invisiships.
Yeah. Yes. Well,
So let's
Should we
take
now?
Grace and free the base.
let's do it.
Amelia has a van in her.
Okay. How about all of us? The rest of y'all okay up here?
You point, and the first thing you are just completely distracted by the tree of seagulls that is
Treagull.
Honey Baby. From the arms all the way up to the head, gulls are nipping at each other and fighting over room to sit on them.
Okay, I even take my tablet. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I need a picture of that too.
Even
All right.
Oya is like, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. It's really cute.
Patel just goes, yeah, I'll go with, I mean, I guess I hate saying this, but just being able to anticipate how we operate, I'm guessing I'm B team. I go in after you guys mop things up.
Oh, yeah.
Duke comes striding up, and she goes, "I want in on the fight."
Oh yeah, that was no question. I mean, if there's gonna be a fight.
I'm not sure
If
there's
we-
much of it.
Just
but-
drop me in the base. Can you teleport me in? Just drop me in the base.
Whoa,
I'll take care of all of it.
Whoa. Hang on there, Tiger.
Yeah, yeah. Snaps goes.
I think we're just trying to make them think that the base is breaking down, and then they flee, because the base is breaking.
And if any of them
Remember when I
don't-
said to get really smart people on your team?
I mean, they.
We want to make sure they don't come back, right?
I don't want them touching my stuff again.
And she just folds her arms. Snaps goes, "Yeah, that sounds fine to me."
How about this next big fight we have? You can be the first one in it, okay?
She turns her back on you.
I'm not good with kids. I'm sorry.
She just kind of pivots on her heel and starts to walk back over to Grace.
Not 18.
Snaps just says, "So, I guess Lacey makes them think that the base is going bubbles, and then
Luma actually makes it look like it is,
cool."
and then
Oh yeah, because that thing you did to
Flood
us.
the space.
Yeah.
Terrify them
Evacuate.
with death. Sounds like a pretty.
Oh man.
But if it doesn't work, a
Then
very
fight.
solid plan B involves lots of punching. Possibly hitting things with sticks.
Are we gonna get a stick?
Oh,
Oh,
I
your
made a stick
stick.
once.
oh yeah, I have a stick. I was like, what the? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone
So
begins to assemble.
Yep. Pile in.
Goals take off.
Autobots, roll out. No. Yeah, that's a preference.
Sure.
Sal and Moonlight approach, and Moonlight rubs her eyes and says, "Signs to you. I can fly if you need me to." Feeling much better today.
You did good. Thank you.
Thanks.
We made 2 new allies because of you. Well, remade one and made a second one.
And technically that too.
Moonlight smiles and says, "I'll never turn down encouragement, but no success happens on this team because of a single effort." That's just my take. She signs. Sal's not really paying attention. He's glancing off towards the horizon right now.
the sunrise or the ocean?
Sunrise.
Shall we?
I'll roll up to Sal.
Sal looks down.
Hi, Lacey.
Hi, Sal. Sunrise is pretty, huh?
Bright.
Do you like bright?
Don't know. Not too long.
Well, we're hoping to try to go back home. And you don't have to look, once it gets a little brighter, you don't have to look directly at it. That gets really bright.
Home.
Yeah, it's a blue dolphin.
Underwater.
Yes. Is that okay? Do you want to go back to Blue Dolphin or do you want to go somewhere else? It's okay if you don't.
Big world.
It is. I have an idea. What if you come with us today, and after we've gotten Blue Dolphin back, we can make sure you're stocked up with enough coffee, because no matter where you go, you're gonna need coffee. And you can talk to Moonlight about where the two of you might want to go.
You go to base,
And Moonlight nods. And Sal says,
then Sal go to base.
Squeeze hand.
your hand, it's like an 11-year-old touching Hulk's hand. Like you managed to like put half of your hand around his pointer finger, and he just nods and just,
Friendly Lacey.
Friendly Sal.
And Moonlight pats him on the arm and starts heading towards Grace, and he just goes,
Bye.
and he waves at the sun as he turns around and starts
I'll take him back. I'll take him back.
moving over to Grace and going up the ramp. Just
It'll be back tomorrow.
So many field trips. We can do.
Okay.
and you see just stomping up this thing, goes up the ramp, and you catch an expression on Duke's face as this civil exchange is happening, as she's wrapping up her blanket and not folding it at all. She's just wrapping it up quickly and shaking out the sand. And she says something to she mouths something over to Snaps, who just kind of goes and she starts moving off. Snaps approaches all of you and says, all right, well, ready to go when y'all are.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think we're ready to get going.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Have I been to this space before? Because I don't remember being inside this space.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've
You
been
ran
here.
around. You
Yeah.
yeah. Took us a while to catch you actually.
And where is it again?
Underwater.
We're going underwater?
Yeah.
Cool. And he's, with that, turns on his heel,
Yeah.
walks up the ramp.
I let Moonlight know that we're gonna want to take a submersible approach from a fairly long distance.
Moonlight also points out that Grace doesn't have the ability to submerge. So,
Okay. Cool.
Drive the van out or fix Grace? Drive the van out.
Yeah, we're taking Amelia
okay.
Bedelia.
Who wants to show me how these buttons work? I don't drive.
Wait, what?
Oh, back the van out of the thing. It seems like a good time to
I'm like
experiment.
draped on your back, and I'm like, seriously?
Well, it never came up. Come on. I guess I could also just bring it. Okay, never mind. I just carry the van down the thing.
Oh, that's faster probably.
Well, that works.
wait, you're carrying the van?
Yeah, what?
We need to get the van out of Amelia if we want to take her down.
So we can put it in neutral if that's the thing that doesn't make it
If we
super
want to
fancy.
take
But
Amelia, oh yes, you're wanting to dump the load so
If
you
the
can
point is
actually
that
submerge.
Grace
Yeah.
is not submersible.
Taking
Right.
the base.
Yeah.
Just taking the van.
then we need, in order to have enough room for everyone who's coming on this trip, we need to deload the van.
Okay, so it's easy to the van. Yes, it's a little bumpy, but you can pull the van out of.
Put it in neutral.
Yeah.
And
Go
just pull
for
it out,
it.
set
Bunch
it,
of
and locking
superheroes
all the
pushing a
doors, and
van
you can leave
off
Grace
the
here too.
Yeah.
Again, you're on the cliffs. This is not a very accessible area.
Yeah, no, we're coming back
It's
for
like,
her.
how did a van even
She's
get
ours
out
now.
there? Yeah.
She's our Pokeball.
Okay. So one by one, everyone reorganizes and starts loading up into Amelia.
Yeah.
And as everyone saddles up, you see Sal getting inside, and he stops looking around it as everyone's taking all the seats. The only seat that's not taken, you see, is this disjointed, torn area where the seat has yet to been repaired. And sitting next to that space is Duke, who looks up at him and just says, "Karma." Moonlight, stepping over, signs something to her, and you didn't catch it at first because Moonlight's back was turned, and you see Duke's face kind of change and goes, "That's funny," and Moonlight signs again, and then folds her arms, and for a second you see Duke staring at her, and she just goes, "Fine." She gets up, unclasps the seat, and leaves the seat and goes over and takes on one of the handholds and gives up her seat. And Sal just goes,
Thank you.
and takes the seat, taking up most of the space, and clips in. And Moonlight moves back towards the flight deck. You're not
five.
sure what Moonlight said to get that reaction.
Whatever.
I
It was, it
narrate
was good.
a high five on the way up there. I don't need to know what it was.
Gives you the high five. And yeah, y'all are all on board, loaded up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ready to
let's
go.
go.
Let's go.
Also, just to, I'm gonna say Dr. Patel, early in the morning while everyone was getting ready, in the 20 minutes that took everyone to get ready, Dr. Patel, along with Lacey, just to keep this narrative solid, was a part of an operation to transfer fuel supply from grace to Amelia because Amelia was running low on fuel.
To us.
So it takes about 20 minutes, but again, with Lacey's help, it's not difficult to jury rig a siphon from one ship to the next that is remarkably safe where it should not be. And when you get about half the fuel load on both, you manage to detach, pulling out the fuel lines and reconnecting. And with that, Amelia takes to the sky, and you guys begin to fly out over the beautiful blue Pacific Ocean. The California Pacific, again, the coastline. In the early morning hours, you're getting a good glimpse of the coastline from outside the hazy fog of everyday, the megacity of Los Angeles. And instead, you're seeing the shelf that is now shallow water because of sea day, stretching out miles from the coast. It's hard to believe that y'all are connected to the events that caused that catastrophe. Millions of people dead, changing the face of Southern California. And below you, it's been 80 years, and you can see that some of the buildings that have been lost under the waves are still standing. It just makes it more real, seeing it from the altitude. You can see remnants of old Santa Monica off in the distance near Raft City. And you can see a lot of the places of Malibu that was just swept under the waves when the coastline jumped and slid into the water. But you also see pods of dolphins out in the bay, out in the just offshore. You also see nature has reclaimed what was destroyed. And you start quickly approaching the coordinates of Blue Dolphin Base. There was a point in the history of this state where just off the shoreline, you would see the beautiful mountaintops of Catalina Island. Those images have vanished. The geography of Catalina has now become an undersea reserve. And so the Catalina Reserve is where Blue Dolphin Base is located. And as y'all approach, you see a research vessel currently anchored just over the location of Blue Dolphin Base. And it is flying the Cassium, it is flying the Cassium flag along with the United States flag and a few other nautical indicators.
Oops, can we knock it over? Oh no, that flag.
Pretty sizable research ship. Doesn't look military at all. You see it even has an area in the back for submersibles. Not surprising. But as y'all approach, there's no way they haven't seen or at least heard that there's an approach coming.
Cool. All right. We were hoping to really long range submersible and come up from under.
Okay. So then I would say that would be a piloting check.
Okay.
But it's not going to be difficult.
Moonlight's flying. I'm not.
What's that?
We established that Moonlight was flying, that I'm not.
Oh, okay.
But you can assist for sure.
That's true.
Oh, well, in that case, Moonlight's already going to automatically beat that difficulty.
Cool.
So she will take you guys down.
Cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nope. Sometimes it's not the DM trying to screw you. Sometimes it's the GM who forgot. So you guys take the ship down to the waterline, and it's been a while, but you see the familiar sights of water lapping up onto the flight deck windows as you all begin to submerge under the waters.
I bring Sal, Helena.
So as you walk into the back, Sal is doing this.
Yeah. I just set the chicken on his lap and grab him.
She doesn't. You grab his hands and he looks at you.
And place them on the chicken.
As you place on the chicken, you see the expression on his face change, and he goes,
It's gonna be okay.
and starts petting the chicken, who is...
I equally pet him on the shoulder.
Okay.
Actually, can I have a chicken too?
Yeah,
Like,
Hawk, too.
actually, can't swim.
We need chickens in the merch store.
Okay, here.
We need like stuffed animal chickens.
I start shooing Cordelia near you. Here.
Cordelia, isn't that the shit? Okay. Isn't that the mean one?
No, Beatrice Dice.
Oh, that's right, Beatrice. That's right.
So submersible lights activate.
It's chicken.
Easy to see in the crystal waters of the Pacific this early morning. There's not a lot of cloud cover in the sky right now, so it's actually easy to see. And again, just like they were before Catalina sank beneath the waves, these are some of the most rich biological, this is one of the most rich biodomes in the ocean. Catalina Island was famous for having an incredible plethora of species, from otters and the kelp forests that have been stretching all the way from Northern California. This area is rich with aquatic life. When Catalina submerged after the Great Upset, it became even more so. This has become one of the jewels of United States diving. If you want to get a good diving spot out and near the submerged Catalina Island is the where to go. And as y'all begin to get closer and closer to Blue Dolphin Base, you're seeing schools of fish, barracuda. You're seeing the golden light shining through the surface of the water down through the column. You see the occasional shark. You see pods of dolphins. It is like going into an aquarium where all the things are all around you all the time. You're getting a good snapshot again of what this ocean looks like as nature has reclaimed and reclaimed and reclaimed. And slowly, in the distance, Amelia begins to detect the presence of Blue Dolphin Base and a submersible that is attached to it. A rather large submersible. Too large to be carried on the deck of a ship. I would say it's about half the size of the research vessel itself, so about the size of Amelia, attached to the entry point. And you are detecting, Lacey, you are beginning to sense the power flowing from Blue Dolphin Base. It has been brought back online.
Someone's in our parking spot.
Not for long.
Don't even have a placard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit next to Hakeem because
Yeah, tell me.
you gotta get ready.
You can call me Sophia. Hakeem is my family name.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
No. I appreciate the respect. That's very nice. You can call me Sophia.
Can we all call you Sophia?
Oh, yes. You saved me. Yes, please call me Sophia, everyone. Oh, I am curious. What episode of Baby Knows Best did you watch last night? Not that that's important. I'm just curious.
Okay. Well,
I mean, was it the bake sale one? I mean, that was really popular. I love the bake sale one.
I know.
That was the thing.
Okay, why did you show me the bake sale one?
I'm sorry. I thought.
But first,
My personal favorite is the feast one from the kitchen disaster.
Look. You hear suddenly Patel pointing with a smile on her face, and emerging from the murky blues of the ocean, you see Blue Dolphin emerge from that murky blue water column as schools of fish scatter away from the front of the flight deck. And you are all met with just a moment of quiet. You didn't realize until this moment that this place has become the heart of your team. This place symbolizes your knack for taking that which was evil and violent and making it good again. And it has been your home away from home. And even though now you're seeing it with this unusual submersible attached to it, the lights are on. And for all intents and purposes, you are home. This place has been your refuge through so much over the past months. The first place you found Sal, the time that you managed to get Hops to finally go to sleep.
Oh, that was a good day.
The absolute genius rescue of one Florence medical bot saving the day and removing and saving Anton's butt. You just remember the memories come flooding
Anton's
back.
butt.
It feels like it's been a lifetime since you have seen this metal structure emerge from the darkness of the ocean as you all begin to approach. And as you begin to approach, Lacey, the information that you hear flowing through Blue Dolphin becomes a little more crystallized. And you can see that right now, in your mind's eye, the station is being mined for data right now. Without making a roll, I'm going to tell you this much too. Mm-hmm. You are aware that there are, and about the same time you've recognized this, Lacey, as y'all approach, you become aware of the presence of divers outside the base.
That's why we were keeping it about 200 feet away and below where less light.
And they are attaching devices
They're gonna try to blow the base.
to the base.
Oh. Interesting.
Perfect.
They are attaching charges. Yes.
How perfect? Why perfect?
Because
If they think they succeed, they'll never come back.
So we have to,
we stop the detonation and I continue it.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, so you're gonna like make it seem like one of the charges accidentally went off, and then they just have to leave because of their own.
They better get out of there.
Okay, Cordelia, game's on. Someone take the chicken.
Worst comes to worst.
Here we go.
Ow.
She gets nippy when she's happy.
It's very true.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
First thing, I want to ask the machines in there where there's a cupboard or other spot where no people are, like a good little cupboard.
You can use the security cameras.
I have information gathering.
Yeah. So it kind of covers all of that.
Yeah.
You immediately link up. And unfortunately, the computers feel the same way they did when you first discovered Blue Dolphin. Cassium has come in and rewritten some of the protocols and are essentially, what you're discovering, Lacey, is you make the connection, you slip into the data zone. What you sense is that Cassium, you can already see what's happening. Cassium came down here and started looting this place for anything they could get on all of you. Discovering that there wasn't much in the databanks itself, they started pulling logs of conversations or anything they could get. Thankfully, even though the conversations are largely personal, all that you could tell that they have been able to extract is that Dr. Patel was definitely here and was operating out of this place. They also have some notes and medical records that they've snatched up from Anton and from Hops. And they've also managed to take some of the biological scans that you've made of the team and wiped them from the computer after taking them. So they have readouts of everybody. How much that's going to do for them, you don't know. But
Did they take our stuff?
Not yet. It's piled in the middle of
it's
the living
being
room.
gathered.
You get blown up.
But Lacey, in so doing, you also are accessing conversations that they have. In fact, one is in progress.
Is it now?
Yes. Dr. Rand is currently...
Do go on.
Dr. Rand is currently in the middle of a conversation with what seems to be a project lead. And what you can see on the cameras is they're starting to activate through your mind's eye, and all of the base is starting to clear out.
Oh, that was easy.
And you tap into the conversation just in time to hear Dr. Rand say, could return, but we don't have confirmed reports just yet. Just what we're seeing on the news of what happened last night over the LA skyline. If they do return, you and your team might be in danger. I want you to continue doing the plan, continue following through with the plan as necessary, and then I want you to destroy the base. I already have divers on the outside putting charges. Dr. Rand, I understand what you're saying, but we haven't been able to extract all the information yet. If Dr. Patel's research is hidden in here, it could be the key to unlocking the energy source. You're out of time, Doctor. You can stay there and die, or you can pack up your team and leave. I leave the choice to you. And the doctor leans forward and says, please, just give me 10 more minutes. If we succeed, you might finally have a weapon against Fletcher Krause. And she said, Fletcher's no longer our concern. Report back here immediately. And it cuts off.
Doctor Who?
Doctor.
And on the security cam, which you immediately switch to, the doctor, wringing his hands, he just turns to the team and says, they're going to carry through with it. They're going to blow up the base. Everyone, just take what you can. If it doesn't go up the elevator, then just leave it. Damn it.
I know.
My stuff. I'm gonna take our coffee.
They begin to... Anything that might possibly have a DNA sample is being gathered right now.
My deck of cards. Damn it.
We don't know this is happening, but if we did, it'd be.
Oh, I'm assuming Lacey might have like put it over, but maybe not. No, I guess not.
Yes, because
Okay. So
what
you
secret
all
file?
Should we just go beat them up now? They're taking our stuff.
I don't know how to fix the DNA sample problem, but that they probably have that from other stuff.
Maybe they'll drop it in
Do
an
they have
emergency.
all that stuff they've pulled on local?
It's on the research ship, 60 feet overhead. All of the stuff.
Foolish mortals, back up to the cloud. All right. I want to maintain every single file. They are absolutely gathering all of that information. It's so unfortunate all of it is going to be wrong now.
Okay, you're gonna corrupt everything.
I'm not corrupting it. It
What are you
still
doing?
looks right. I'm replacing it with completely different people, and I'm subbing our conversations for telenovelas. Like pictures of like us are now going to be Mickey Mouse.
Okay,
Like
you're trolling them.
I'm trolling.
You even
Okay,
pull
I should say-
Kashi's program, his recursive program that you've already seen witnessed.
Oh yeah, that.
La, la, la. You just put that in.
That you rickroll them.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, Lacey, it is possible that they've transmitted some of this data, but the local
That's what I'm
files,
trying
the hard drives, as it were, are you can detect them are located on the ship above. They've pulled the physical copies of the data and have taken it with them. If they've transmitted or sent that through a stream, that's entirely possible.
Let me find out real quick because
Okay.
that's relevant to whether or not there's even a point to doing it.
Okay, so then make a difficulty 8 check.
Hacking?
Yep.
All right, 2 free levels. Let's go.
876. Oh, you got
Yeah, the rest of them are 6.
All right, cool. All right, so it takes a second, but you begin to, at this point, Moonlight begins to decrease speed, and the engines begin to reverse. And she starts coming to a stop and signs to you, we're not going to be able to stay hidden down here too much longer before their sonar detects us.
Can we go to the silent running?
Silent running, yes. But they're actively pinging, she tells you. So it's not going to be too much longer between pings. However, if we stay low to the surface, I can hide us for a little bit. They might confuse us for debris since we are off the coast of Catalina, but I can't be certain.
Okay. There needs to be more of me. I'm going to use Divide Your Mind again, so that I can focus on falsifying their pings with one of me
Okay.
and working on this with the other of me.
You basically pull what Duke does with her fists. You pull it with your mind and split into 2 Lacey's. The data version of you begins to immediately, you all see the data begin to transfer on the ship as Lacey slips into the data mind and eyes begin to glow green again. The same thing that you've witnessed with Oya, that aura glow, that ambient manifestation, begins to slowly play around Lacey, and y'all have started to realize that at your level of power, that you are manifesting an anima every single time you activate powers on this level, because you watch Lacey, instead of just glowing and sinking into the data, you're starting to see a data stream appear around Lacey, circling Lacey's head, and you're watching code rewrite as it begins to glow around them. So what's wild about this isn't just the fact that you're all beginning to be able to see the data circling around Lacey's head. What's wild about it is in the data you see emerging like a face from the surface of water, a digital version of Lacey's face facing Lacey, made of data. And both of them open their eyes and stare into each other as the calculations begin to explode all around the lines of data, as these 2 versions of Lacey working in unison begin to rewrite information that is both upstairs, cloak you all from a sonar device, and trick the data that is being transferred out.
It's freaky. Give me back the chicken. Thank you.
One day you're gonna just have to accept that Lacey's amazing.
I know. It creeps me out
Yeah.
a little bit.
You feel your skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah. Honey Baby's here too, or Sweet Baby's here, right?
Sweet Baby and Honey Baby, they're combined still. So
Right.
right now it's Honey Baby. And there's no real point to rolling this. So just give a quick flash of what exactly you're achieving.
Yes. So I succeeded on the hack check to find out about whether or not they had transmitted what they've gathered.
Transmitted, yes.
Oh.
Okay. Then.
However, what they have transmitted in the data packet has been affected because not too far from downtown LA last night was a massive EMP that disrupted data transfers taking place in a 5-mile radius.
Literally.
So they have broken data, and you have uncovered that the order was forget the transfer, just bring back the hard copies. Yes. They're dead anyway.
Mm-hmm. Huh? I'm a happy boy. So, yes, and then that is what I'm working on, and I'm working on just all the trolls with that same instance of me. The other one, every time there's an active ping, I'm working on falsifying it out. I'm trying to cloak us with one of me.
Okay. What's amazing is up on board the research ship, they're detecting the presence of a submersible that immediately self-corrects to, nope, just debris. Submersible, nope, just debris. Right now, there's a sonar operator going, oh man, we need to get this thing looked at. I'll run a diagnostic later. We're almost out of here. Cut back to you. Beads of sweat slowly starting to form on Lacey's biological self. The data self that's hovering in front of them, unchanged. And
as soon as I finish the troll, that's when I'm going to get back to being just one of me and focusing on the pings.
The face in the data begins to submerge back below the water, tilting its head back and just becoming lines of data once more. And when that happens, the anima begins to fade away and it becomes just a green glow in Lacey's eyes.
Okay, I took care of all of the data that they have on the ship, and I'm falsifying the pings.
Okay, what about the charges? Do we know when they go off? How much time do we have?
That's an easy glimpse. You don't even have to roll for it.
Okay, cool.
So when they leave, they're set to detonate within 2 minutes.
Okay.
Let's make that a bit early, shall we?
Or do we want them to think everything worked according to plan?
Yeah, that works too.
Since it's going to be fewer than 10 minutes.
Would you be able to hold for that long? I mean, I overexert myself all the time. I see the signs.
For one of me, it's much easier. I'm not great at multitasking.
Okay, so can I just say how cool it looks, though?
Yes.
So cool. You're getting better.
It was pretty amazing.
But still very creepy. I had to get a chicken. Here, you can take the chicken back.
In a cool way. Pops.
In a very cool way. But again, it's still a little unnerving for me.
You shoot lightning. That's not unnerving?
Okay. Thank you for reminding me that I make you uncomfortable, Hops.
No.
I'm going to try to work on making sure that those bombs look like they're going off until they're not going off.
Lacey, it's not you,
I'll be
it's
right
me. Okay. Oh, God.
From the back, you hear Duke's voice go, y'all are better than television.
Give me the chicken.
No one asked you. I hold the chicken and I go, no, you did not earn the chicken. Encouragement, social skills.
I'm not good at that either, okay?
No, I'm telling you, I'm giving you pleasant social interaction. You don't earn the chicken.
What?
I'm encouraging you with my...
Can I please?
You now have pleasant social interaction.
Thank you.
She just blessed you.
You look very cool,
blessed
Lacey.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
Okay, now you've earned the chicken.
Thank you.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Would you like a chicken?
I'm just
God damn it. From the room.
Judges
Go
say,
sit next to Sal.
you did not earn the chicken.
Take it back. The judge is all knowing. He's gonna keep passing it back and forth.
I imagine the chicken is now just giving you like a...
Yeah.
Don't report these parts.
Yeah.
Tell everyone we're super cool.
Oh, yeah. No, everything's
Oh
going to
my
be
God, I'm having
extremely
flashbacks
edited.
of Almost Famous.
I'm seriously usually very badass. I'm a little uncomfortable
So
underwater.
they wrap up everything they're doing, and a few moments later, you see them all. They're all piling into the submersible one by one. And a few moments later, you see the submersible, and the bubbles explode out from underneath it as it detaches, and begins to drift away. Charges aren't set yet. They're active, but this timer has not begun, and you watch the submersible. It's interesting because as you're watching this submersible, first of all, they don't have eyes on you, partly because at this depth, Amelia's camouflage actually helps her blend in because at this depth in the water column, blue is really the only pigment that's appearing, and as a result of that, to somebody who's just glancing out any window in their submersible, they might just see what looks like strange-looking rock or coral because all the lights are off. So this submersible turns, and at that point, when y'all are looking up, you see that this thing actually attaches to the bottom of the boat, which means that this boat probably doesn't move too fast, but is an excellent research vessel for offshore research. So this thing just attaches, you just about 60 feet overhead.
Oh, is our stuff like in some kind of separate room that we could just portal in, grab our stuff, and then portal out without them knowing? That would be cool. I hate the fact that they have my shit.
I mean, we can try to steal it back if we want.
I'm just saying, but first we should probably not have the base blow up.
Yeah.
Give me back the chicken.
Youthful eyes, iPhone machines.
Setting my hands against the window of Amelia.
Okay.
So
Tell me
for
when the
that,
countdown is.
you need to be right there to make light.
Yeah, it's only sort of ever around me. I've never pushed it further away. I don't think I can do that.
Then I'll detonate. We'll go into the base.
Oh. I have an idea. Snaps comes walking up.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna tell me not to do this, but I have a really cool idea. Why don't you let me go for a swim?
Do what?
Show them an explosion. I mean, light's one thing, but water erupting out of the ocean, that would definitely...
It's not safe yet.
I mean, I'm just saying that that's going to be a big implosion of oxygen, so you're going to need something to pop the surface of the water.
Oh, that's right. I don't know if your illusion can make it that.
It's a pretty complicated scene I can make, but
Wait, you mean you can just make it look like the thing is blowing up?
yeah. So far, it seems to be light
Oh.
to us, but I think I'm making it that way so that you guys could tell, so you don't get lost in the confusion too. But from them, it's gonna look pretty devastating.
Oh, well, all right, yeah. No, that's cooler than what I was going to do. He goes and sits back
I
down.
think they're both equally cool. One just involves a lower probability of brain damage.
We just got your back.
I don't know. Oh, you mean me?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Makes sense.
Thanks for offering.
Yeah, no problem. I guess it would be weird if I used my speed and then lost memory of why I was 60 feet underneath the surface of the water out
Or
there.
which way was up.
Yeah, that would suck.
Is that what happened to you before? It's I mean, that's brain cells dying, so that you weren't able to remember.
Is that how it works? Am I losing brain cells? And Patel stands up. She goes, No. It's so much more complicated. It's
In a certain sense, it's not wrong.
it's not that the brain cells are dying. It's not even that the memory is resetting.
They're disconnecting from each other. I don't know. I'm
She
not
leans
a
against
doctor.
the wall and she's like,
yeah, I
no, this
have
is
no
fascinating.
idea.
I
I'm
love
not a
talking
doctor,
about it.
Jim.
It's just that as y'all are slowly
Yeah, we're
starting
on
to
a
watch.
timer.
As the boat starts up, so she just says, yeah, it's more to do with the fact that the Callisto energy kind of breaks reality and doesn't make a lot of sense. The only thing you can predict is that it's going to break the laws of physics when it wants to. And the way it manifests in people sometimes, and then overhead, you hear the engine starting up on the boat.
Hey, Luma.
Yeah.
Does it help if I do this? I put my arms around your waist.
Every time.
Let's make something go boom.
I open a door for the ladies.
Shuffle.
Where's this? What's
I'm portaling Luma into the base because she needs to be in right
immediate
there.
range.
all right.
And I'm going to work on deactivating bombs and making sure their sensors see the bomb. Because
Okay.
she fools eyes, I fool machines.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Again, not a lot of point in rolling.
Yep.
Lacey, systematically, you go to one bomb and say, no. And it says, okay. There are 12 charges. Each of them are about as powerful as a high-yield military bomb that is dropped from a warcraft, like an MK-84. This thing could each one of these bombs could crater an airfield.
We're going to pick this up later.
It's big enough that it is going to
don't want those
absolutely
on purpose.
implode and destroy this entire station thoroughly.
Defusing bombs, you say?
Yeah. Using dexterity, that cipher would really help. But here it's literally Lacey just click, click.
Is there like a certified... I just want to make super sure. Do those bombs happen to have like a certified mail receipt thing from where they're signaling it? Like, is there going to be some sort of, yes, this bomb really did go off signal?
No.
That I need to
These look like pretty basic charges.
Amazing. I love it when it's basic. I will deactivate all the pumpkin spot latte bombs.
All right, one by one, they all deactivate. But the one thing you will have to do, Lacey, is you will have to continue transmitting on their behalf, or at least letting everyone know that they are not deactivated.
Okay.
Luma, you step into Blue Dolphin Base. It is weird seeing it like this.
Yeah, I almost like want to shuffle closer, but I want to leave my hands. I don't want to go through the wormhole only because in case they're still watching on cameras or anything.
Okay.
I just want to like if my hands were pressing against glass, I'm just on the edge of the wormhole.
So this
it can
is
just
going to
seep
be
out of me and be there.
So it's 100-foot.
Yeah,
range.
100-foot cube.
So this is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Inside Blue Dolphin Base, you're at 60 feet of depth.
Yeah. So we get.
Which means that
All
the
right.
explosion of the water is going to have to register as something underneath 60 feet of water. I'm not going to get too technical on this, but if an entire underwater base imploded suddenly, the way the surface of the water would react, you're probably going to need a little bit more than just the remainder 40 feet that you get out of it, because it's going to cause a huge bubble, essentially, to explode underneath the water. So, essentially, you're having to adjust a little bit by kind of angling this cube that appears in your mind. It's going to have to be a little bit above Blue Dolphin Base, as opposed to just inside of it.
Oh, so do you need me to portal you into a ladder?
That
Up the
would be
ways?
great.
Okay.
But you have range on this thing, so you can.
No,
you,
immediate range.
Oh, it's immediate range on
Yeah.
that?
We have to place
Okay.
her at where we.
Okay,
to
then
be
yes,
at the-
you'll have
so
to
yes.
open.
Okay. New door.
Okay,
Take my hands out.
so where's this door appearing?
Don't let go.
The ladder.
Very top.
Right at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because then.
Okay, yeah, you got some feet. All right. So then, working out the physics of this, you managed to summon up your power. Now, because you're trying to do something pretty spectacular, you're trying to fool an entire ship, all of its systems.
Yep.
And you're doing this on a scale you've never done it before.
Yeah.
You can do this. It's going to cost you.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
All
No,
right.
he's not here.
Kostya is the happy twin brother of Kostji. I'm Kostya, and I'm Kostji, and together we're assassins.
He's an assassin.
Da-da-da-da-da.
The brother.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this as a straight up 10-point spend
Wow.
that your edge will eat.
For sure.
We just get to watch.
You are
Yeah.
pulling all the reserves of your ability to
watching.
manipulate the perceptions of reality, bending light and senses to fool both man and machine, as it were. So all the humans that are going to be seeing this and all the mechanical devices that are going to be detecting this are all going to fall for this.
Right. All right. And I don't remember if I had any assets last time. Would I have any assets on this?
To spend.
You're
not rolling
It's
them.
just a spend. You're not
It's just a
rolling.
Oh,
spend.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Straight up
you just
spend.
want me to spend 10 points? Mm-hmm. Oh, I was like, a level 10. Okay.
Nope.
I was thinking, like, how do I get this down?
Yeah,
Okay.
10
Got
points.
it. Yeah.
You already down.
I'm so down.
You have an asset of a Cass.
Yeah.
Aw,
Get it?
asset. Okay, so
Never mind. I was gonna make a joke.
the whole
I have one quick question before you before
Yeah,
this
what's up?
resolves. Does the illusion create sound?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, sound and smell
Okay. And smell.
and smell.
Awesome.
So I my hands are up, but then at the last second I just squeeze and like the button presses and it just lights and because I've not done a full 100-foot space before. There's a lot. Big bright light and it all just beams out of me like a spotlight into it like bursts out of the top of the spinny hole door that we have to get in through. I don't know. The porthole.
That's pretty good.
It just goes poof, up through and yeah, I try to mimic any sort of old movie that we've seen.
Reference.
Just like references of just like, honestly, old footage of Sea Day is sort of in my mind of like, what did it look like when it was just this huge, massive disruption of ocean and life and
I'll give you back 2
chaos.
points.
Cool. So I just create a mini Sea Day, and it just.
So the bombs tick down. You're carrying the transmission up. The bombs are still going. Everyone's waiting inside of Amelia with bated breath as you concentrate that beacon of light of beginning to appear just underneath. To y'all, you hear a muffled roaring sound from overhead. From the looks of it, the ocean explodes above you all. But to you, you see shards of light warping and dancing in a way that creates a whole image that you can't completely understand. To everyone on the surface of the water who is now about a quarter of a mile from here, moving at full speed, they just saw a huge explosion.
The smell of.
You watch Luma, again, just like Lacey, beads of sweat on her brow as she summons up 10 points out of your pool. You summon up all of your energy and bring the image in your head to life. And it happens. The bubble, the explosion, columns of water erupting straight into the air. Right now, Castian believes that they just wiped out Blue Dolphin Base. And the charges immediately shut down. And after a few moments,
I simulate some debris starting to slowly float.
Okay.
Some extra bubble pop.
Some extra bubbles and.
Yeah. Fish floating
Yeah.
to the surface of the water.
Yeah.
You see, however, the real fish have all just darted off, scattered in every direction. All the wildlife is just scattered.
Yeah.
And Blue Dolphin Base is before all of you. Without firing a shot, without harming a single individual, without even the knowledge that you have all returned to it.
That was amazing.
Big kiss on the cheek. Lacey, how about did everything go okay?
Yes. I want to open a new portal right into our living room.
Okay.
Do you mind if I have any of this coffee that you keep talking about?
If it's there.
Did they leave the coffee?
Sal?
I will spend XP.
One by one,
Make
people
it true.
start leaving into the portal.
Oh yeah, I'll
and
spend
filtering
XP to
into
say
Blue
they left the
Dolphin
coffee.
Base.
How much does that cost?
You gonna do a player intrusion?
Not a single bag was
It's-
touched.
It's 2 XP.
Okay.
And the pots that to make it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this whole setup.
The kitchen was left.
Yeah.
Scientists,
With
sometimes
2
they have
XP,
bad
you're making
priorities.
this true. So essentially,
left the kitchen.
and all the things that they have taken and futzed with, they didn't think to take the things you put your mouths around, which of course is the cups and the coffee and the, really, that's all it took to go there?
because those have been washed. They took the ones that were in our room, like
Sure.
on our bedside table
So,
or whatever.
yes,
But
the coffee maker,
the
everything is
dishwasher
untouched.
was full and clean. They didn't need those.
Yeah,
They're just dishes.
One of the more cautious scientists talked the other ones into agreeing that food down there, which they found with like the power out, was not safe. There was no point evacuating it. There was genetic experimentation going on down here. It's not safe food. Somebody might have stolen like one pocket full of snacks, but like they're scientists. They're not going to be like, let's eat what we found in the abandoned underwater base of the radioactive superheroes. They left it.
For 2 XP, that is all true.
Yay! Yay!
Hero!
Player intrusion, you step in and make one narrative aspect true. So yes,
They took all our
I
shit.
will allow that. If you're going to burn that XP, you can have
we
that.
get-
And yes. So as y'all step into Blue Dolphin Base, eventually the Amelia docks right where she belongs. And about 10 minutes later, you all find yourselves in a very familiar, very decimated looking space. And it's quiet. Dr. Patel just looks around and goes, we wanted the lab back, but I don't know how much of my equipment's going to be there now.
We can make new stuff. We can rebuild.
We should get to work then. And I can start running some tests to find out about the state of the city.
And I can get you that data. might
It would
help
be
you with some
helpful.
comparisons. In fact, with all of this downtime, not running anymore, there is a certain executive at Nystral Corp that I could point the espionage to. Not a good person, by the way. It could take some of the heat off of me, definitely.
Speaking of which, Patel walks up to you and she's like, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but we're getting to a point where we have to consider about getting you back.
Oh, I'm definitely going back.
Well, I just mean news of what's happening. What happened last night is probably already broken, and I'm sure the networks are wondering where Hakeem Sophia is.
Your portal ability, how limited is that?
What's it do, Lacey? You see this portal opens as it strains against its own limitations. And Sophia, you see, much to even Casey's stunned, shocked look on her face, you see the interior of your dressing room at the station. Empty.
Oh my gosh, it's Sophia's dressing room.
Still has changes of clothes, all of your stuff. Your makeup artist has left all of their belongings inside.
Yeah, it has a shower, so.
And it's jarring seeing an image of your life that's not all of this. And you see Lacey is straining right now. How much does that cost you, Lacey? Can you just do it, or does it cost you some good, juicy pool points?
For myself, it takes a little bit. It's, let's see, 6 points plus level of effort is 9 total points, 4 points out of my pool.
Okay.
That I'm actually spending after Edge.
Okay.
Which is a lot for me.
That's a lot for you. So,
Is it,
Yeah, this is a 9-point spend by contrast.
so at that
is
point,
it intellect or is it might or speed?
It's intellect, but yo.
so
They've done a lot today.
so at that point,
no, I was gonna try to heal.
Casey
but
just goes,
I do speed.
oh, we should go. We should go through.
Yeah. You are all so amazing. Thank you. And I'll make sure that everybody knows what happened in the way that we would want them to know. Call on me anytime and rain check on the coffee. Casey. Keep fighting.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got this.
Rest easy, Hakeem Sophia.
Yes. Rest easy, Callisto 6.
Casey steps through.
I
You step through.
Yeah.
And as the portal closes,
Now I know. Oh, damn it. This is fun.
Join the cuddle puddle.
Razor cards!
Yeah, can we put that on? I tap my headset and start playing a deep cut razor cut song. Deep razor cut song.
All over Blue Dolphin Bay.
so this is what happens as y'all are situating. It's about 1 p.m., 2 p.m. by this point. As y'all are like kind of letting yourselves relax a little bit, you're back home. After everything you've been through since you left the moon, you're back home. You're back and ready to go. And the smell of coffee, as Sal has immediately walked over and has started brewing batches, as everyone's kind of like, you see Patel has activated the news and is transmitting the news up, and she goes, okay, let's see what the world looks like right now. And as she takes a step back, you see footage from that night. You see Cass flying in the air and holding that transport. You see the flashes of portals opening up inside the windows of the transport. You see what looks like the body of a woman swinging in through a window that's not actually there, that vanishes. The explosion. You're seeing snapshots of everything that happened that night. And interviews of people who were rescued on the bus. And one of the reporters going, well, we're not entirely sure what the meaning of this is, but it does seem to indicate that at least one of the survivors may have been someone the city is familiar with. And the camera pans, and it pans over to a wall just outside of central Los Angeles. And growing out of the side of the wall in greenery, you see the symbol of Callisto 6, about a full story tall, plant-like moss growing off the concrete. And you see,
I catch you.
you see the headline, Moss saved by the Callisto 6.
Am I dead? Am I dead? Nope.
As we hear the thudding sounds of Luma hitting the floor, Blue Dolphin Bay, you catch. The second time Gina has fainted in one of our games, this time is caught.
Yeah, this time caught by my partner.
Well, I think it's safe to say that everyone knows y'all are back. And with that, we wrap up tonight's game. Markeia, thank you so much for coming into the game tonight and bringing us Sophia. It's going to be a lot of fun watching the next couple of recaps that we've got. It's going to be pretty interesting. Those recaps are always kind of on the meta level, but it's been really fun watching what they do. So thank you. It's been a pleasure, as always, gaming with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
I love this so much. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Wow, what an adventure.
Yeah.
Please come back always.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump out of here. I believe we've got we got a lot of stuff to do on our next episode.
But we got our base back.
We're on episode 10. Which means one of the people you rescued on that transport.
What if I facilitated a question from them?
What?
I don't know it.
At one point, Luma looked Moss in the eye and said everything was going to be okay. Who it was, you don't know, but one of those 200 people you helped remain calm and rescue.
I can't wait to tell Cobalt he's gonna lose his mind.
He's probably watching the news right now.
Hitting up bolts.
You're right.
So we're on the home stretch, y'all. Episode 10 is next. Everything's starting to happen. The stage is being set. Blue Dolphin is reclaimed. Everything's going down. Stay tuned. We will see you next Friday. Thank you so much, as always, for supporting and joining us, Super Punks. We love you to death. See you next time. Until then, please, as always, stay whimsical.